Well, welcome to Moama Bowling Club. It is UBC 25, an ultimate week worth over 280,000. It is event 1, day 2. Of course, that means it's finals day. But firstly, 6 matches to be played between Section A and Section B. 3 matches apiece, and that will secure the top 6 positions. All important top 2 straight through to the quarterfinals, and 3 through to 6 will play off for their spots in the quarterfinals. I'm Chris Green, joined once again by the brilliant Benny Jones. Benny, it's finals day.
It is, mate, and you just get that sense, the anticipation builds that little bit more. Obviously, it's all important to get yourself off to a good start on that day 1, set yourself up for a tilt at some knockout finals action. But for those teams that are certainly in the mix, in contention, have started really well. I'm sure they would have been in bed nice and early last night, getting ready for today. As we watch Matty Lucas get things underway, almost a toucher for the Flem Colts to start us off. He's up against his opposing lead in Bolivia Millerick. And, yeah, we are underway here on the TV rink. But beautiful day here in Moama. Sun is shining. Been out for a run this morning. Good night's sleep. And ready to go for a big day of bowls action with some really exciting finals from, well, our live stream from 4 o'clock. But, of course, the 4 preliminaries will be played from 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. And those will be on the main green. And then the quarterfinals onwards, each match played on this live stream rink. And Benny, we'll look at the 2 teams on show here. First up, we've got the Aussie Coolroos in the blue bowls and the Flem Colts with the orange bowls. Flem they are currently sitting in 7th position, 4 wins, 4 losses, minus 64 on 12 points. And the Aussie Coolroos in 10th, and they've only had 2 wins. So this could be just a little bit of a momentum builder, I think, today for events 2 and 3.
Yeah, arguably, look, it's odd to say this, but they're actually not. I sort of did a little bit of the math before as we see a lovely shot there from Bolivia Millerick getting the first points on the board, our first toucher of this contest. So 3 to the way of the Aussie Cool Joeys. Not completely out of contention, and I say that because of their points differential. They've actually managed to maintain that relatively well, minus 37. You put that into context with the Flem Colts, they're on minus 64. But a win here would get them to 8 points. They've also, you know, given themselves an opportunity, courtesy of having a couple of bonus points. That just keeps them alive. It would be a big ask. They would have to win, you would think, their remaining 3 matches to be any chance of sneaking into the top 6. But they're not completely out of contention. And as you said, you know, win 3, give yourself a shot, momentum into event 2. So for the Flem Colts, they're in a similar boat in that they just need to keep winning, because above them, Exodus, only separated by points differential, and then they're a win off, well, effectively 4th spot, depending on other results. So plenty to play for. Looking forward to this one unfolding as it's 3 apiece, and we saw the Flem Colts get the lead shot at change over there.
Yeah, this is almost one of my favourite sort of couple of hours of UBC events. You just see the teams, and some of the teams who are striving for, you know, they've got to get every sort of win to make that top 6. And then you've got the borderline teams. You've got the teams who are looking now at their bonus points. I was speaking to a couple of players earlier today, and they were quite happy with their position, given the fact that they've got a couple of bonus points up their sleeves.
Yeah.
It's a great addition to the UBC, with the bonus point being any team who has a loss or a draw but scores 63 match points or more, they get a bonus point. So it just rewards that extra scoring, and teams who may still be out of the hunt come a 5th end if they aim for that 63-point mark.
So it's been a nice reserve start to the morning. Everyone's been having their roll-ups and getting their bacon and eggs in and having a coffee, but now the action's underway in earnest. And you're right, this next couple of hours you'll see the standings change dramatically. You'll see teams that have probably had an indifferent start to the event get it together and fly up the table, whereas some of the teams that may feel pretty safe and secure, all of a sudden a loss or 2 this morning, and they might be looking over their shoulder. But yeah, looking forward to watching this unfold, and also looking forward to seeing some of the locals here in Moama start to roll in as the day progresses. And
huge.
Yeah, there's another 3 to the way of the Aussie Coolroos, courtesy of Aaron Hewson, skipping with Benny Twist watching on and supporting from the sidelines, the 3rd member of the Aussie Cool Joeys.
And we see it every year, and we hear it every year, Benny. No doubt there will be a team or teams come this afternoon when the finals are on, and they'll be saying the story of, oh, there was just one bowl in one match, and that's kept us out.
Now we've got the weight from Cohen Litvin and quite the desired result. Just watching in the background there, a few of our viewers may have picked that up. Watching Aaron Hewson pick up the jack and perfect his fast bowling technique. We might have been rolling out a leggy, I'm not sure, but he's getting the shoulders loose for a big day of bowls action. And after that first end, 16-11 the score. With the Aussie Cool Joey's having the lead shot there, taking a small advantage into this second end. How was your night, Chris?
Yeah, nice and relaxed. Just caught up with a couple of the players. Always some fun banter after each of the day's play.
Watching Matty Lucas here on the mat. The Australian Jackaroo and one of the most respected and highly regarded bowlers here at the UBC. He's been a big part of the event since its inception.
He's played for a couple of sides too, Matty.
He has.
We're starting to see that a little bit more now. We're sort of at the stage where we've had a number of UBCs where we see a couple of players who float around and they're hot property in the draft.
Yeah, and the third member of the Flem Colts who's been pretty much, I think, maybe an inaugural member of the team, of the franchise, has been there for as long as I can remember, James Webster. Supporting his teammates on here this morning. As I said, they look to just ease their way into that top six, and once you're in there, you're as good a shot as anyone.
I know we're going to be doing it a lot throughout the day, and if you'd like to check up on any of the scores, the current standings, make sure you head to ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard. We'll have a quick look at some of the scores. Currently, Melbourne Falcons 30 lead the wildcard team at 27. The Raptors 57. It's been a big morning, a big start for them. They lead 57-6 over the Aussie Cool Roos. Carlo Koalas 15, trail Musgrave Pelicans 36. Wirrala Gorillas 33 lead the Western Wolves 18, and Adelaide Heat 35 over Exodus 10.
Yeah, well, that's the game that I guess Flem can, while their focus is firmly on the Aussie Cool Joeys at the moment, Exodus is the team that is placed above them in this Section A, and they are separated at the moment just by that shot differential. So if they were to win here, Exodus were to go down to the Adelaide Heat, they will find themselves well and truly entrenched inside that top six. So the important thing is to focus on the task at hand, but also very aware, more so for the players and the teams that are performing behind us on our main green, because we've got a big screen at the road end of the arena that gives you the current scores. So you can keep half an eye on that as you're playing, but such is the professionalism of these guys and girls. I think they keep their focus predominantly on what they're doing, and their third team member can probably be the one to monitor what's happening on other rinks and how it might affect their standings. Currently, the Colts holding first and second.
Yeah, and with those standings too, Benny, Adelaide Heat, they already have a one match, so a full 3-point competition lead over Exodus. So that's 5th and 6th there.
Yep. And that, for the Heat, you would suggest, if they can go out, long way to go, of course, in that contest, and it can turn pretty quickly. But if they were to go on and win that, I would suggest that probably makes them pretty safe from the chasing pack. But still a bit to play out. As we've said, we'll keep you updated as best we can. But in the meantime, if you don't want to wait for us, you're a little bit impatient, ultimatebowls.com.au/scoreboard, and you can watch it all unfold on the live stream, but also as the scores update from the main green behind us, rinks 2 through to 6. Holding an ultimate end here at the moment, the Colts. So this is big, yeah.
Can he get down here? He looks pretty good.
It's a great
the weight's
effort.
great.
Certainly enough for, well, I think he might have got in there for
Yeah,
shot.
I think Bolivia is quite happy with that. Matty Lucas is going to have a good look, though. Just going to go straight for the bowl here. Big weight. Cohen Litfin, forehand. The boys are watching it.
Just misses, yeah. So A clutch last bowl there from Aaron Hewson to avoid we think to avoid the ultimate end and certainly to work his way in for shot. Matty Lucas having a look. I'm going to go to a measure. No, it's been called, so there you go. No need for the measure in the end, and as I said, big last bowl there from Aaron Hewson, 26-22. Really good start to this contest. It's a bit back and forth and nice tight battle between these two sides. The Joey's playing for their life in event 1 and the Colts looking to work their way inside the top 6.
Next match is a big one too. It's huge. We're going to be alternating between Section A and Section B for these final 3-round matches. But the Broadbeach Bulls in 3rd place of Section B will take on the Lawn Bowls to You Windsor Centurions, who are in 2nd place in just their debut event. So that's quite impressive in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into a new concept for them and certainly a new format of bowls, and to pick it up as quickly as they have and start as well as they have. It's been a really solid start from Bowls to You Windsor, and just watching these lead bowls now as we get to what is always a pretty crucial middle end. Only the 5 ends played, short, sharp matches, get them all done within half an hour, 30-second shot clock, fast-paced, plenty of colour, plenty of high scoring. That's what UBC is all about. If you're just wanting this one to hold out, weight just a little under. Still gusty breeze here in Moama. The weather looks as though it's going to hold out, and I don't think we've got any rain forecast, but there is still a little bit of that gustiness about the breeze, which, speaking to some of the players yesterday and having a chat to Ali Forsyth here in the commentary, said it's not too bad affecting the bowls themselves, but the players as they get into their delivery stride sometimes it can impact when you get that gust of breeze come through, smack you in the side of the face while you're trying to deliver the bowl. But more of an issue for these players on the TV rink, a touch more exposed than they are on the main green behind us. But getting used to it out here on the TV rink is what they're going to have to do if they want to be playing off for the big cash later on today. So, sure, not too many complaints. This looks a really good correction from Bolivia.
Yeah, really great effort there. Would have loved to have played that with a second. Just would have left that sort of that gap at the front there, but it is a bit of a tough way in. Matty Lucas will just be looking to add another here, consolidate on the shot he already has, but also it'll be that 3 points for the lead shot, crossover. He's played it well. Yeah, be very happy with that. That margin back to just 1 point, 26-25.
Speaking about very happy, Greenie, my Reds might be back. 2-0 win this morning over West Ham.
Must be a good feeling. You haven't had that feeling for a while.
Haven't had that feeling for quite a while. Yeah, it's been slim pickings, but coupled with that, see that Arsenal dropped a couple of points, which our man Barry Lester very happy about. He's a Chelsea man, and he spoke to me yesterday pretty... I would say he wasn't overly confident that they would get much out of the game. Wait here from Houston, and just misses out to that high side onto the right. Had a player sent off very early, Chelsea too, so to get a point from Arsenal, good result. Means they come back to the pack a little bit. Still very much the team to beat. But yeah, nice to see the Reds have a win, albeit not an overly impressive one, but they'll take it.
Just heading around the back here, looking to get the tee.
Yeah.
Not far off.
Not far off it at all, is it?
He'll go again here. Forehand weight, Hewson. Well, he's almost collected that shot ball on the way through, but what he's done is open it up. It's on the more favourable side as well, so play confident draw down there now. That's all pending what this man does. Colin Litfin, can he get in first? Not far off. Not far off.
He's going to use his own bowl here. Yep, brilliant. Now, I've got a question without notice for you, Greenie. We get to the finals at 2 o'clock, the preliminary finals. Now, in these round-robin group games, if scores are tied at the conclusion, they share the points. There's no issues with that. If it's 70-70, if it's 55-55, teams share the points. But come finals time, we can't have a draw. What would happen in the instance, let's say, preliminary final behind us, rink number 3, both teams end up with 67 points apiece? What do we do?
Well, what you'll get is actually the lowest scoring end. It's possible in UBC. So there's none of the 3 points for a toucher. All it is there'll be one bowl played per team member. Only the 4 players who will participate in the match, so that the third player still sits on and cheers them. The leads will play first and then the skips. And then the winner is the team holding shot at the conclusion of the 4 bowls. So nice and simple.
Yeah. And incredibly exciting. We've seen it happen a couple of times. I think going back to this event a few years ago, we saw a couple of bowl-offs, if we're going to call them that, tiebreakers. And yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun.
So the Colts now, 43-29 leaders.
Yeah, they've just started to just flex their muscles a little bit now. That was a really impressive end for them, adding 19 shots to just the 3 for the Aussie Cool Joeys. And possibly during the next game, we might just have a look at a couple of individual player stats. It is very much a team-based event. And we know the teams are the ones striving for some really big cash prizes across all 3 events, but there is an individual element to it, and that is in the form of the Golden Touch. While we won't reveal names, we will give you a bit of a feel for what the leaderboard is shaping up like and how many players are in and around the mark. Speaking of mark, we might reveal how our man Mark Casey's going as far as the Golden Touch is concerned.
Did you notice him on that list? I had a quick glance at it this morning.
I only had 7 or 8 minutes to read it, and I hadn't reached his name at the point of going on air. So suggests he's not near the top, but...
We might need to get that in alphabetical order next time. At least we won't have to go down to the C's. He wasn't focused on that, though. That was
no.
clearly not a focus of
his. That's not his role in a role player. And yeah, as you said, we're looking forward to this this next game as well. Section B, round 9, we get to see the world champ Aaron Sheriff in action. And as Greeny alluded to, up against the Warm Bowls to you Windsor Centurions, who have just got off to an absolute flyer.
You know,
event 1.
What one of the most impressive things about that side is as well is not only is the team a debutant in the UBC, but all 3 players as well.
Yep.
So quite often you'll see players who haven't actually played in the format competition style. They do take a bit of time to get used to the tactics and combinations, but these guys have hit the ground running right from the word go. Good shot there from Bolivia. It'll be 3 points there for the lead shot, the crossover. Keeps them in the match.
So very happy to see a little bit of Welsh representation as well, potentially. Christian Croker. See if he fronts up, but always great to commentate and see the international flavour that the UBC brings with some of the stars of lawn bowls from right across the globe. This game, courtesy of that strong lead end from Olivia Miller-Eck, still very much in the balance, but it's a nice response from Cohen Litfin.
2 in a row, following up from his final bowl on the previous end. And that's a brilliant shot, Benny. From the mat, it would have looked pretty ordinary.
Yeah, it makes it very hard now to see the Joeys getting at that jack. So now there's Litfin with his second. Looking to try and get in there close for second. And second shot, that is, of course. And just comes up about a 1.5 foot short.
Do we potentially just see a big dam buster here?
Well, you almost feel as though that's the only option here for Aaron. He wants to get anywhere near that jack or to impact the head, the scoring. Is he going to work his way through?
Oh.
No. Cannons in off his wasn't his bowl. I think it might have been one of Bolivia's, but unfortunately, it's not the impact he was after. Nothing changes as far as the shot standings, first and third with the Colts, but feel like he's going to have to come up with something pretty special, Aaron, with his final bowl if they're to stay in this contest. At the moment, the Colts, a chance to extend their lead.
Yeah, Cohen, if he can add a second here, it'll be a real stranglehold in this match heading into the fifth and final end. Of course, Aaron with one bowl remaining, but it doesn't look great.
I like the weight on this. I like the weight. If it's just got a hold, and he's done that brilliantly. So first, second now, the Colts. This becomes a massive, massive bowl from Aaron Hewson.
Well, weight once again.
Yep.
It seems to be the common factor here in this match, and that's Hewson playing a lot of weight, and this one's big.
This is eye of the needle stuff here. No, not quite. So great end again for the Colts. They've gone back-to-back wonderful ends to put a stranglehold on this contest, and we'll check in on some scores around the other green shortly, but pending the result for Exodus, and I think that might have taken a bit of a turn as well. The Colts, we knew, had to win to stay well and truly in touch. This probably puts a line through the Aussie Cool Joeys, but 61-35, the margin now is 26, and you would suggest that will be enough, particularly here if Matt Lucas could start with a toucher. Not quite, just missing to that low side.
Well, Benny, Exodus doing Exodus things, an ultimate end on N5.
Wow, I just saw that pop up, yeah.
They have clinched victory 60-54 over the Adelaide Heat.
Wow.
Warilla 79-41 winners over the Western Wolves, and they got a ultimate end on their final end.
Did, couple of heavy hitters there.
Incredibly, that's on rink 6 and rink 5. On rink 4, an ultimate end the way of Musgrave, 76 winners over Carlo Koalas, 44. And then on rink 3, the Aussie Coolroos have got themselves an ultimate end to move along to 40. However, the Raptors hold on there with 83 points of their own, so a big 43-point win.
And it looks as though the wildcard team, who have just had a wonderful start to event 1, and this is the only event those 3 players will get a chance to compete in, so you've got to make hay while the sun shines. I think, if my maths is right, I think they've done enough there by the looks of it to hold on against the Melbourne Falcons. There might be one bowl to come, but it looks as though they're well placed to... Oh, no, they haven't. There you go. And an ultimate end. I wonder, has this ever happened that all 6 matches, because I know one of the rink 3 result has just popped off our screen, but that is rinks 2 through 6, all finished with an ultimate end. So if we can have the same happen here on our TV rink,
it's got to happen.
Surely that's the first, that you've had 6 matches all finished with an ultimate end, regardless of whether it's the winning or losing team. That's quite unique, I would have thought.
And that ultimate end there for the Melbourne Falcons gets them the win.
Has got them the win. Incredible. So this is going to make for some interesting reading come the Section A standings. We'll have a look at those shortly, obviously, once this match here completes. But
surely this has got to be an ultimate end here.
That's big for the Falcons.
But firstly, it will be the lead shot at the crossover for the Colts. And they extend that lead of theirs.
Exodus too, like that's a huge win for them. We know they're a perennial powerhouse of this competition, but they would have been well aware that the Colts are breathing down their neck, and they were staring down the barrel there early on in that game. So Adelaide will be disappointed. They're another side in the mix in that top 6, so that brings them back to the chasing pack a touch. Plenty to play for this morning here at the Moama Bowling Club.
So attention now turns, Benny. Can history be made? Can it be the day, the moment in history where
it's 6,
one round is
6 matches, all ending with ultimate ends? That's nice though from Aaron, just to get the toucher and work into what appears to be second shot. So we'll just see the scoreboard update to confirm that. 3 points for the toucher, and second shot bowl now belonging to the Joeys. Cohen Litfin just looking to push one out, trying to get to the tee, going past that and just staying within the rink. sure we're going to get the ultimate end here. Well, that said, maybe somehow the Joeys could end up with it. This looks pretty solid too.
This.
Look at that.
Another toucher.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Squeezed through, got the toucher, and probably still don't have shot. Second and third now belonging to the Aussie Cool Joeys. They move their way to 41. Margin now back to 23. Final bowl from Cohen Litfin. If this can take a little touch off his own bowl, work in, it's not going to hit the right side. So, imagine the instruction here from Bolivia is just clear that orange bowl that is currently shot, and they may still end up with an ultimate end. Let's have a look, see if he can do it here, Aaron.
No, he doesn't like it.
No. So we're not going to get history made, but we went mighty close. Great result for Flem Colts. They will head very close to the top 6 now, or they'll be right there in the mix. We'll get those Section A standings shortly as we get set to look at Section B and Round 9 action here on our TV rink. A blockbuster battle between the Broadbeach Bulls and the Lawn Bowls to you Windsor Centurions. But as that score is confirmed, let's have a look at the Section B standings, Greenie.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. So the Flem Colts 7th, so they stay at 7th. But the good news for them is it's now all down to point differential, so match point differential.
The Falcons, we talked about how significant that was for them. Right when we thought it looked as though the wildcard team was going to march away with a victory there, they're all of a sudden in the mix.
Yeah, I think, well, that's probably the 8 teams who can make up that top 6.
Yep.
Wirrilla Gorillas and the NCE Raptors, 21 points apiece in first and second. Western Wolves, UBC wildcard side, Adelaide Heat, Exodus, Flem Colts, and the Melbourne Falcons. I think Wirrilla and the Raptors, with 2 matches remaining, based on their points differential of plus 173 and plus 101, I think they're safe. And then the other sides probably need a win. Wolves, a wild card. I think 1 win will do it. Wild cards, they're the beneficiary of the bonus points, so they've got 1 point there, which puts them on 16 above those teams who have had 5 wins on 15.
Yeah, and I think the other battle within the battle, we talk a lot about the top 6 and we tend to focus a lot on those positions, 5, 6, 7 and 8, but don't forget the importance of finishing top 2. You get an armchair ride straight through to the quarterfinals, straight into the cash rounds, and at the moment, as you said, Wirrilla Gorillas and NCE have a 1-win gap over the chasing pack. I would suggest the Wolves are probably their only danger. But if the Wolves could win their last 2 and hope there's a slip up from the Raptors or the Gorillas, more so likely the Raptors due to that points differential, all of a sudden they could find themselves into the top 2 and into a quarterfinal. But yeah, fascinating start to the morning. All those ultimate ends to finish up behind us, and now we've got a really entertaining match ahead of us. The Broadbeach Bulls and the Lawn Bowls to you Windsor Centurions, 3rd versus 2nd on the Section B table.
Waiting for the teams to confirm their lineups. Looks like it will be Christian Crocker and Brendan Egan. And just wait, I'm not sure if you've seen Brendan's delivery before, Benny, but it is silk.
No, I must admit, I'm not familiar with having seen, as you said, first-time competitors here at the UBC. But, looking forward to watching the Windsor Centurions go about it, and up against a world-class outfit, none more so than Aaron Sheriff. It's just one of the great names in bowls today.
Of course, the 3rd member for each of these sides. For the Broadbeach Bulls, it's Mitchell Mears. And for the Lawn Bowls to you Windsor Centurions, Jason Heath. So those players watching on, supporting their teammates as play gets underway.
And it is Christian Crocker, the Welshman, getting us started. Just drifting that one back towards the tee. And Sean Nugget Ingham, who has enjoyed some success here at this event in years gone by. And he's off to a fantastic start in this one. Early toucher. Not quite, but as close as you could go.
And not just success at this event, but success with the man at the other end, Aaron Sheriff. They've teamed up on a number of occasions for a number of big results.
Do you think when negotiations started with Broadbeach that it was a package deal type setup? Can't have one without the other?
There's a lot of love between the two, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was just, again, one of the great little conversations I had with Ali yesterday is, I said that's one of the real draw cards for these players to come to the UBC, because whether it's players that they've either played with at their clubs, you know, in Pennant and the like, they get a chance to then compete against them, or conversely, players that they've only ever played against all of a sudden become teammates.
Yep.
You develop those relationships. You know, there's obviously so much great banter, as Ali touched on, you know, a lot of healthy respect amongst the competitors. So that's just another great selling point for the UBC when it comes to attracting such, you know, high-quality names as it does year in, year out.
Yeah, speaking of dream combos, we'd love to hear people out there listening, watching, what your dream combo would be. If you're a UBC franchise owner, who would you be chasing?
Yeah, and let's say, just for the sake of the conversation, unlimited budget.
Yeah.
Yep. We don't want you to be restricted by how much money you can spend.
Yeah.
No salary cap here.
We'll let you avoid the draft as much as it's a great night, but we'll let you pre-select 3 players. Let us know who you would pick.
Yep. Yep, the Facebook page, you can find the live streaming there. You can also click on the links via YouTube. And all of those links are available at that website, as we said, ultimatebowls.com.au. The live scoring and the live streaming. That is a great start.
Brendan Dooner Egan.
A few messages coming through, and also a couple of questions. Brad Marin. Good man, Brad. Question, what's the highest score ever by a team in a single game? I think you probably have that number somewhere, I'd reckon, Greenie, but we touched on yesterday. I'm not sure we had a team hit triple figures, but...
There was a team.
There was one, was there?
Yeah, there was a team who hit 100 yesterday.
Okay. Highest match score?
Highest score, let me think. I think it's about 114.
Yeah.
Streaky Bay Sharks, 2023 in Event 3.
114. That's some straight shooting and some, good bowls positioning, because you'd factor in there, you'd think there's at least 2 to 3 ultimate ends involved there. A lot of touches, a lot of lead shots. We know the score does accumulate pretty quickly, but 114, that's, I think that's 3 clear of the next best. And John Fleming, in fact, beat us to the punch. John actually answered the question on the
I have a feeling that John played in that game.
He may have.
It would have been John. There would have been Twisty.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of the third player.
Craig Morris is watching from Key Largo. Good luck to all the bowlers involved. Thank you, Craig. Up the Colts, go Co, said Emma J. Rowbotham. So great result for them in this last game here on our TV rink. And keeps them well and truly in the hunt for top 6.
Sheriff, his final bowl. Just finds a nice little way in there. Gets the shot. So we'll wait for confirmation, but it is shot bowl for Broadbeach, 2nd and 3rd to Windsor. Nice little even start to this match.
Yeah, well, we looked at their positions on the Section B table, and we'd expect nothing less. 5 and 3, the Broadbeach Bulls. 5 and 3, Windsor Centurions, but 2nd as a result of obtaining a bonus point. Again, emphasising the importance of hitting that target of 63. Even if you get beaten, there is still something to be taken from those matches if you can put together 63 points as a minimum. Now to Christian Crocker, his first of this second end. And I can't help but, it's the nature of this morning's action. It's helter-skelter, Greedy, but I look forward to the next game here on our TV rink, and the Melbourne Falcons and Exodus. So that's got a lot of weight on it regarding the Section A top 6 standings. There's a toucher there from Nugget. It's his first of this match.
Yeah, there's not many games that have no importance in this late stages of the sectional play. But it is great to be live streaming some of these games, which are, well, they're mini finals, really.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen in previous years too, competitions, we've seen teams that have finished in that 3 to 6 bracket make deep runs into the knockout finals because of the fact that effectively their finals have started maybe with a group game or two to go. So they get into that finals mode, the cutthroat nature of getting to this point of an event. So even though top 2 is a distinct advantage because you get that armchair ride through to the quarterfinals, it doesn't guarantee success. In fact, sometimes having that extended break between your last group game and a quarterfinal, we've heard some players say that just gets them out of rhythm, gets them out of sync, and then they come up against a red-hot team that's gone and won their last 4 or 5 on the trot. It's just another part of the little psychological battle that goes into playing for the big money in the knockout stages and the finals later this afternoon here in Moama.
Yeah, spot on, Benny. And we're always evolving with the UBC, and we take feedback from the players, from the franchise owners, from people just who support and watch the event. We take that on board and have a look at it. And one of the changes we did make after the first couple of years was having those finals all played at the same time. To limit that break that you said, because there was teams finishing on top who would have 2.5, 3 hours off, and there'd be other teams who were playing and getting that momentum built, even though they finished lower on the ladder.
Yeah, and there's something really cool, and I do encourage, if you're in the area, even if you're not in the area, you're a few hours away, you've got time to get here. 2 o'clock, those preliminary finals, all 4 side by side behind us here as we look at this TV rink. They will be played simultaneously there, and you just don't know where to look. Often you'll get 2 of those finals that will go right down to the final end and right down to almost the final bowl. And it's hard to know where to attain the focus because you're looking at scores change and chop around really quickly. We do, on the flip side, often see some finals that get resolved pretty quickly because just one team just goes bang from the outset, and it's put to bed by the halfway point of N4. But more often than not, we get some real excitement. And as I said, if we could get to a point where we've got a bowl off, so to speak, a tie-break situation, that's when it gets really exciting. You see all the teams converge. Everyone comes in from the bar or the kitchen or wherever they're having a bite to eat, and they want to watch that unfold. So get down to Moama if you can, or up, wherever you are around the state, and enjoy some really exciting bowls finals from 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Brendan Egan there, looks like he's claimed 3rd shot. Still a lot of room here for Sheriff. Just a slight correction to be made.
Yeah, well, if anyone can do it, it's this man. And, I mean, look at this. If it just stays up, it's not quite going to, but I think he gets in there for 3rd.
There is a small shelf here for Brendan Egan to drag a toucher.
Well, they've got all the, minus the one Broadbeach bowl there on the tee. They've got 4 placed behind the jack here. You're right, Greeny. If he can find a way to drag the jack through, they could end up with an ultimate end here.
And that gusty breeze does push across the head here, as you see on screen, from right to left. So there will be a little bit of turn late.
He's asking for it to hold. It's not going to, I don't think. But it will get in for 3rd. So not quite the perfect result, clearly, for Windsor, but they get something from the end. Broadbeach, though, extend their lead out to 20. 34 plays 14 after 2 completed ends.
This could be very scary for the competition if that man, Aaron Sheriff, and his little mate, Sean Nuggetigan, can get on a little bit of fire here in finals day, because anything's possible. And then you throw in Mitch Mears into the equation, and there could be a team to beat later on this afternoon.
I think any team that has Aaron Sheriff in it is the team to beat. And that's not to disparage or to play down the impact of Sean Ingham, but just once Omar's got dialed in, I reckon I could probably play with him and he'd still carry me across the line, and that's saying something. So, yep, team to watch for sure, the Broadbeach Bulls.
I wonder if there's any profit on the prize money that he makes, because surely he's going to be spending a lot of money on trophy cabinets.
He knows a very good carpenter. Has him on a good deal. Yeah, I assume that the Sheriff household is littered with all sorts of silverware.
I think he's just trying to keep up now with his daughter Zoe, who's excelling in cricket.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Outdoor and indoor cricket.
Yeah, right. There you go.
She's absolutely killing it. So he's probably just trying to keep up now with her success.
Clearly a very talented sporting family. Just starting underneath the jack here, our first 4 of this middle end.
Have a look at some scores. How about
Yeah,
that?
let's do that, Greenie.
Bundura 53 over the table-topping Kawana Thunder 22. Close one between Moama Green and Deer Park Club Blue. It's 38-37 the way of the Deer Park Club. Southern Stars 56 lead Golden State 25. Moama Black 51 lead Dandenong 21. And the Port Sorell Sharks 48 lead Deer Park Club Gold 33. 4 bowls remaining at the 4th end there, and Deer Park Club Gold are holding 1st, 2nd and 3rd, so they'll be looking to hold on to those, and Port Sorell Sharks will be looking to bounce into that top 3 of the shots in that end.
Nice finish there from Christian Crocker. He had to come up with something really good to not only get shot bowl at the crossover, but just to get something behind that jack and just keep them in the hunt. They're still trailing by 17, but when you know you've got Aaron Sheriff heading to the mat, skipping here for the Broadbeach Bulls, importance on the opposing lead to get something from his bowls goes up a notch or 2. Sheriff looking to work through that gap. Oh, just a little bit of pinball which halted its momentum, but as per usual, it was a pretty good shout.
Yeah, really important here for Brendan Egan to add another shot. Going to make Sheriff work for it.
Oh,
He's found a way through.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, that was very rare. You see someone stare down Aaron Sheriff and say, yours was nice, but watch this go just a touch better. That was very impressive from Brendan Egan. And I got to say, Greenie, you're right. Watching the delivery, very, very nice to watch.
A big weight here from Sheriff and his backhand. He almost got a clear run. He almost promoted that through the shot bowls. But here is the chance. Here is the chance for the lawn bowls to you, Windsor Centurions. Brendan Egan on his forehand. He added with his first. He'd love to get to the jack. Well, he's tight. He doesn't want to promote the blue.
It actually ended up going
yeah.
okay. He's got still 1 bullet to fire as well. This will be the last for Sheriff in this 3rd end.
Changes
Again, the weight.
from his backhand to his forehand. Is there a result from the semi-result, but it still remains 1st, 2nd and 3rd
ultimate end
to Windsor. They will take the lead after this.
Now he can have almost a free swing here at a toucher, knowing that he's got plenty of security behind the jack. It's all orange there. He's not going to threaten the jack on this occasion, but again, it's an ultimate end and game well and truly back on here at the TV rink. I didn't see that coming, Greenie. I've got to be honest, I did not see it coming, but that's the reason why they're sitting 2nd. They've clearly put together some good bowls over the past day and a bit, and they're in front now, 35-34 with 2 ends to play.
Yeah, absolutely anybody's game. I think you touched on it, Benny, that 3rd bowl of Christian Crocker's to get the shot and just get that scoreboard ticking over. You've got to apply pressure to Sheriff. You know, 9 out of 10 times he plays the shot, but there is that one time where he might just miss or get half a bowl and not the result, and that's what you've got to hope for, but you've got to put the pressure on and make him play the shots.
Yeah, the importance of just working together as a duo, as a team in this format. Yes, it's about touches. Yes, it's about scoring points, keeping that scoreboard ticking over, but setting up bowls so that your skip has a better opportunity once he heads to the mat or she heads to the mat. This looks good from Nugget. There's 3, straight back. Broadbeach regain the lead. And that's Nuggets' second toucher of this contest. Now to Christian Crocker. How can he respond? Tell you what, it's holding its line, and he's going to respond with a touch of his own. So going toe-to-toe here, the leads. Great to see. I think that might be Christian's first toucher of the game as well. So it's Windsor back in front. Does Nugget respond again? It's going to miss underneath, but
Gave it a good chance.
really good start by both leads here in this fourth end on our TV rink. Christian just asking that to just hold a touch. It's a little tight, and the weight, which in the end he probably didn't want it to hold.
So Nugget, big opportunity here, trailing by 1 point, but there is 6 points on offer here, the toucher and the lead shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference between a 5-shot lead or a 4-shot deficit, he's worked in beautifully there for lead shots. So it won't be the 5-shot lead. There was no toucher, but they will still lead by 2 with an end and a half to play. Great lead bowling from both players in this fourth end.
Yeah, look, I think both skips will be pretty happy heading to the mat here. It's pretty kind, that side. It's a nice little setup for both teams. For the Centurions, they have the orange bowl in the running. They have the blue if they're underneath the jack. And for Sheriff, he'll be looking for a toucher of his own. Really try and take the end away. And I think that's what he'll be trying with his first. Give himself a really good chance down there.
Just a little tight here from Aaron, but he might use his own bowl. Just took a little touch on the way through and then clattered into the shot bowl.
Yeah, it just slides through.
Yep. So now works to first and second. Probably if you're tuning into our streaming coverage, you're looking at the 4 players, you're probably trying to work out what the weather's doing at the moment. We've got 2 of the players in Nugget and Brendan in jumpers and looking a little fresh, and our other 2, Christian and Aaron, they're quite happy in the shirt-short combo.
Sheriff, once again, he's got to try and find a way in. It's almost been the story the last sort of 3 or 4 ends, Benny. He hasn't had a clear run to the jack, apart from the final bowl on the previous end. But apart from that, he's been trying to have to manufacture something.
The signature stride of Aaron Sheriff as he watches this bowl closely. This looks like it's pretty solid, yeah. Well played. He gets the applause from Shawnee Ingham. Low 5 on the way through as well. So both skips with 1 to play as we head to the 5th and final end. And this one's going to go as we expected, 3rd versus 2nd. Right down to the final bowl, you would think. Brendan Egan. Can he sneak through? Not quite.
He's promoted.
But he has promoted to shot bowl.
I think we'll see Sheriff go for the jack here. He gets it right through to the ditch. It's all blue. He kills. It's all blue.
Yeah, of course, with the jack going into the ditch or killing it, it goes back to the tee in the example of situation where it gets killed, and you're right there, Greedy, well read. And let's see if he can hit the target. Well, he's caused some carnage, but look at that. He still works in for shot. They'll get 1st and 3rd. Broadbeach.
Yeah, a little bit of pinball magic there.
I think they've called that now. It will be 1st and 3rd. And heading into the final end, it's a 10-shot margin in favour of Broadbeach. That was some thoroughly entertaining UBC bowls from all 4 players.
It's one of those shots there where, okay, you got a favourable result. However, I don't think Windsor would be too unhappy. If he nails it, which 9 out of 10 times he does,
Yeah.
and gets the jack, it's almost game over. They're only 10 behind here. They had a really good end coming back this way last time. So, there's still plenty of chances.
Yeah, lose the end, but still sort of win as far as staying in the contest. It's a good assessment of Greeny. Let's see now if they can get some early points via Christian Crocker here, his first of this final end. It needs legs. You can see Brendan Egan there trying to urge it on. It's going to fall about 2 foot short, whereas Nugget went the other way and probably 4 foot past the jack.
Nugget's always searching. It's always searching, gives himself a chance. The issue with Christian's first bowl is that's his line to the jack, and now he's covered that up.
That's a fairly good correction there from Nugget.
And that's what you'll see. You'll see the change of hands here now. Who would be your team, Benny, if you had to pick a team?
Oh, yeah. I probably should have thought of this after you gave our viewers a little bit of notice. Well, Aaron's in it. There's no doubt. I just think for pure clutch, I don't think you can go past Aaron Sheriff. I have to have my man Moo side bottom in.
Yeah.
Just because he's my man. He'd probably be the third, and he'd probably be the supporting act.
Mm-hmm.
But if called upon, would certainly get the job done. And, it's a really good question. I'll come back to you with my my teammate for Aaron Sheriff. I mean, Lee Schreiner's the name that instantly springs to mind, just because wherever he goes, success seems to follow. So he'd be in the mix, that's for sure.
You've dumped Case. He hasn't got the runs on the board.
A little loyalty to Mark Casey from an employment point of view. I'll just leave it as a professional relationship. Lead shot.
I thought you got to swing that and say, well, if you're going to have the best teams, you obviously need the best commentary team too, and he needs to jump back. He needs to jump in with us, doesn't he? Surely.
Does that mean I get the sack?
No, there's 3 of us. There's 3 headpieces.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Yeah, good save. I'm happy with that. But yeah, obviously, Barry for obviously he's a bit more of the razzle dazzle, a bit of showtime. I want my team to be entertaining, whereas Aaron is a bit more of that, focus, doesn't give a lot away, doesn't show a lot of emotion, whether it's going well or it's not. Baz wears his heart on his sleeve and obviously is a fantastic bowler in his own right.
So for the viewers tuning in for the first time, the players can measure after the leads are bowled because it is the important 3 points for the lead shot. And that's why you would have seen the measure there. It wouldn't have been required if that bowl had tipped over like Sheriff had just done, because it would have been clearly shot, but it still was one shot, and that equates to 3 points for the Broadbeach Bulls. Move along to 56. Egan, what can he deliver here? He's promoted the orange and run through, but I think Sheriff's first bowl will still be second shot. So with a margin of 13, the Windsor Centurions, they're going to need first, second and third.
I think I've decided to, if I've got my lead for Aaron, I think someone who's led really well for Moama over the journey, but Ryan Burnett. I think, and also because he's a character. I love his mannerisms and the way he responds to good bowls, bad bowls, and always you get a pretty good indication once it leaves the hand of Ryan whether it's going to go the way he had hoped. And yeah, I think he'd probably. I've sort of named 4 there, so maybe I've got a quartet, a squad to choose from. But yeah, they'd be good fun to watch, no matter what. Let us know your thoughts on the Facebook stream, the comments section, or you can head along to YouTube and do likewise. The team you'd select for, let's say, UBC 2026, if you were putting a franchise in, unlimited budget, just the players that you would have representing your team.
Sheriff, can he clear the front orange? He does.
Brilliant.
That makes it really hard here for Doona, but there is angles. As Christian's pointed out, he gets to that last bowl of Sheriffs, he can remove all three of those blue ones, and that'll be enough. Just a matter of timing the weight around the front orange, and enough to get the correct angle.
So a lot riding on this shot. A difference between staying second or maybe dropping down to third or fourth. We'll have a look at the standings. As we said, on this second morning, they do chop and change very quickly. Weight here from Egan. I tell you what.
What an effort.
Oh, mighty close.
You can't play that much better, Benny.
That was clutch, and he very nearly came up with the perfect result. I think they're just going to fall short. But boy, oh boy, as we expected, a battle of the heavyweights, as it turns out here in Section B, has gone right down to the final bowl. And as we just wait for the scoreboard to update and confirm, it's going to be a 66-51 victory to Broadbeach.
And what I can tell you, Benny, is there has been plenty of movement in the standings.
Wow. Yeah, there has indeed. Kawana, oof. They've dropped. They were top going into this round 9 match.
They've moved to third,
they
but
have.
The Centurions, who were second, they've dropped to fifth.
Yeah. And look at the closeness in this section, Section B, from top down to, well, I'd say down to 7th, even 8th, you could argue, for the Southern Stars. There is only 4 points separating 1st to 8th. That's incredible. After 9 completed rounds, you would think there might have been 1 or 2 teams that break away, but not the case. And so much to play for with 2 group games to come in Section B.
But we'll turn our attention back to Section A, and with Section A, we have the Falcons. So the 8th place Falcons up against the 6th place team Exodus, and it will be Lee Schreiner and Matty Bouse, Exodus, and Harry Coleman and Ben Hubber for the Falcons.
Now, they are 8th. You're right, the Melbourne Falcons, but heading into their last game up against the wildcard team, they looked in all sorts of trouble and clinched it with an ultimate end. So therefore, they've effectively kept their chances alive and are well and truly still in the hunt for a top 6 spot. So this is a big game. And for Exodus, on the flip side, well, they had a little slip up. Looked as though they were in all sorts. But they've held on to 6th spot. But only a point separating these two sides. And again, just nothing between it.
And the updated score provided from that last game on the stream rink, you see the Broadbeach Bulls, they've jumped to the top, right at the top of the leaderboard.
Yep. Yeah, again, just that 4 points between 8 teams is quite incredible. And in Section A, there's a little bit more of a separation between the top 2 sides and the chasing pack, but it's the Falcons and Exodus. We're raring to go with, as you said, Matty Bouse leading off for Exodus, and young Harry Coleman, one of the stars, the upcoming stars of not just the UBC but Lawn Bowls in general, teaming up with Benny Hubber, who will skip for the Falcons.
Yeah, you're spot on there about young Harry. He just keeps growing as a player and as a young adult.
I think he'd be certainly one.
Still just a kid.
Try and target to get him on the commentary for a game or 2 later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Assuming he's not competing in some finals, which is very much on the card still for the Melbourne Falcons. But they must start with a win here against Exodus to stay right within touch.
See, Matty Bouse is someone who would be a potential for that ultimate team as such. Because he can play, as we've seen, lead, skip. Yep. He's so effective, and he just adds so much to a team. And I know for Aaron Sheriff, if you gave him an option, I know who he'd be putting on the mat.
Well, yeah, you think of Exodus in events gone by, and the duo of Bouse and Sheriff, they're almost unstoppable at times. We saw them win multiple event titles and certainly make deep runs into other events as well, Ultimate Team for the week, and they almost did that on an annual basis. So, yeah, I think you're spot on there, Greenie. I think if Aaron had his say and he could hand select a lead to take him to success, it would certainly be Matty Bowes' first name that would spring to his mind. So again, these players, we talked about it yesterday, just a little bit of time to adjust to the TV rink, which is just playing a little bit quicker than the main green behind us.
Opportunity here for young Coleman.
Quite going to get there.
Slides away.
Yeah.
So first points here for Exodus. And the beanbags are out. Dean River, the third player of the Melbourne Falcons. He's on the beanbags in the sun.
Yeah, and again, I see an early beverage being consumed as well, which yesterday I noted, but I thought, Sunday, that's acceptable. Monday's a little bit of a different feel to it. The 11 o'clock frothy, but each to their own, and I'm sure there'll be a few more of those being ordered later today when the finals get underway. We've got plenty of seating here at Moama if you want to come along. Get a couple of hours of entertainment. As I said, the games are fast-paced. They're in and out nice and quick. The finals will bounce one after the other once we get to the quarters, the semis, and then the final itself. So there's no downtime. And even if you've got a short attention span, this is probably the format for you.
Benny, I think all the spectators, it's just every day's a holiday here at the UBC.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, it's fast-paced. There's so much going on, plenty of excitement, plenty of scoring. Everywhere you look, there's action.
Yeah, well, you tell me another format or another mode of bowls where you can come along for, let's say, 2 hours. You can watch 4 different games and you can watch anywhere up to 16 of the best bowlers in the world do their thing. I don't think there is one that exists, and it's an opportunity for local bowls fans wherever you are. And again, if you can't make it here today, of course, all is not lost. We've got 2 more events to follow this one, each event lasting 2 days, so we'll be here till Friday. And of course, on Friday, after event 3, the ultimate team will be crowned, and that is the team that has put together the most consistent performances across all 3 events. So, as we've touched on, starting well in event 1 is crucial, but if you don't have the best event 1, you can certainly bounce back in follow-up events and still find your way to become the ultimate team of the week.
Well, this is certainly what you'd call a loosener, Benny.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that, Greeny. There's a lot of bowls not really threatening the jack, and I guess that's probably the appropriate finish there for Ben Hubbard. It may end up being an ultimate end here to Exodus, and they'd argue they probably didn't bowl it that well, but they still walk away with 18 points plus the 3 at the changeover for a 21-0 start.
Benny, we spoke about teams who just miss out on finals, looking back and saying, just this bowl have missed by half. Or I really think there's still a long way to go in this match and still another round after that before the final placings. But if the Falcons are to miss out, it's purely based on one game. That first end there really, really soft, unfortunately, and they'll be kicking themselves. But they can bounce back here, and I think that's the thing. They've got to really start from this end. Forget about that. It's only 21 points. There's plenty of points still left on offer.
Yeah.
From this bowl, moving onwards.
Yeah, again, that's better. It's a better start from Harry. Certainly weight-wise, getting it to the jack. But, no touches yet in this contest, and shortly we will just give you a little overview of where the Golden Touch Award sits on cue. As Matty Bowes got this to the jack, not quite, about 1.5 foot short.
We'll see a change of hands here too. And I like that because looking to attack the jack, give yourself a chance there. Try and keep the scoreboard ticking over, looking for opportunities to score. And he's played it well, just underneath the jack, but we'll hold on for shot.
So, Greeny, shortly I'll ask you regarding the Golden Touch with 8 completed rounds played yesterday, what the over-unders would be for our leaders. Of course, not many players would have played all 8 matches. There are minimum game requirements across the event, and all 3 players have to meet those minimum games. So there is usually a bit of a spread on day 1, but 8 completed rounds in, get your feel for an over-under as far as Golden Touch. We'll just see how this final bowl of the leads on this second end goes here for young Harry Coleman. And it looks as though they will get the lead shot and it will get them on the scoreboard. What are you thinking, Greenie?
So I reckon average 6 or 7 matches.
Yep. Well, I can tell you. I can tell you the top.
I reckon 3 a match. 3 a match for those 6 or 7. So you're looking anywhere between 18 and 21.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what we've got at this stage, and overnight we had a 3-way tie at the top, and all 3 of those players played in 7 matches apiece.
Okay.
7 of the 8. And the 2 players that are currently occupying equal second, we'll put it, that's probably the best way to put it, equal second, 2 back. One of them played 8 and the other played 7 as well.
Okay.
So what was so you were thinking around the 21 mark?
Yeah, I reckon anywhere between 18 and 21 would probably be the mark.
Pretty good assessment. So our 3 leaders.
Great shot there,
Nice from
Benny Hubbard.
Yep. Our 3 leaders currently on 19 touches apiece. So there you go. And the chasing pack on 17. I've got a couple on 15 as well. So, yeah, 19 was the mark overnight.
Speaking of the mark overnight, how was the Mark Casey overnight? Where was he?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Can we...
I did say
is
that.
he,
Now just let me give me a couple of minutes here to do some scrolling. So, and I'm not going again. We're not going to name names and embarrass anyone here. To be fair, that the player who was listed as last for the least number of touches only played in 3 games yesterday. So that's I think that's forgiven. They had 2 touches.
Okay.
Our man, and I guess we can reveal how many Mark's had because he's not going to win the Golden Touch, so I think we can pretty safely say that. He's very consistent, our man Mark Casey. He played 5 games representing Deer Park Club Blue. How many touches do you reckon he had in those 5 games?
Well, I remember...
Based on Mike Lewis' consistency.
I suggested in that one match he would score 4 and he got 1.
Yep.
So if he's played 5 matches, I'd say 5 touches.
I'd say you're spot on.
Oh, how good.
Averaging 1 a match. Made you look a bit silly with your prediction of 4.
Yeah.
But still, that's Case. So Case is in equal... well, no, he's actually standalone in 13th spot. So there you go.
So there'll be further points here for the Falcons, 1st and 3rd. So they'll eat into that margin just a touch. It'll still remain at 10, with Exodus leading 26-16 after 2 ends.
Well, it's a 16 shot to 5 end for the Falcons, and they desperately needed it after that ultimate end. They conceded in the first. So, yeah, you're right, Greenie. It just brings them back into the contest, and we get to this crucial 3rd end now where this looks like a solid start from Harry Coleman with his first lead bowl.
Very good shot, Harry. Before that bowl came down, I was really interested to see how this 3rd end goes, because we saw the first end, it was really loose. The players have played, obviously, 2 ends now on this rink, so more adjusted to the pace.
So, we had a couple of, they've had a couple of predictions. Well, I can see one here from Mark Smith, who thinks that Benny Windsor should be up near the top of the Golden Touch leaderboard. I can't confirm or deny, Mark, because, as I said, we don't want to reveal too much until later tonight when we announce our winner.
He did score 7. He got 7 touches in that.
Yeah, he had a massive... So you'd think, based on that alone, the one match that we saw of Ben, he'd have to be somewhere in the mix. Kathy McGee says, watching from Cloncurry, Queensland. Kathy, good on you, Kathy.
Be a big supporter of Big Damo.
I would have thought so. Of course, the Aussie Roos, the Aussie Cool Roos. Joe Franzi was happy with another win for the Bulls a few moments ago. Elliot Mason said, let's go Windsor. And Brandon Anderson says, big fan of that Broadbeach shirt. Again, the kits. I mean, I've always been a fan of Exodus. That's That's a fantastic looking shirt, but yeah, I don't mind the mind the Broadbeach kit either.
Matthew Bowse looking to get down to that blue bowl. Harry Coleman. They're actually teammates on the weekend. Bowsey and Harry for Deer Park Club. Harry wins that battle there with the lead shot. Further 3 points to the Falcons. 19-26. All it took was that second end to get him back in the game.
So Philip Lubke on our YouTube stream is watching from Silverdale in New South Wales. Good on you, Philip. Andrew Nuttall wants to know with Huey, Aaron Houston, what's going on with the mullet?
Yeah,
Probably one of the better hairstyles getting around here at Moama this week. Mark Rossington saying, morning from the Philippines. Watching on there, Mark. Good on you, mate. Jeff Brown, 5019, says Sheriff, Disco and Haymond would be his trio.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much of Dawn in the UBC. And I'll tell you what, Dawn would be one player who she'd be a highlight for the UBC. And Disco, of course.
Mm.
But, yeah, Dawn, I love the style of play from Dawn. She loves that attacking play as well, so be really suited to the UBC.
What is the great man Aaron Wilson up to these days?
He's travelling a lot.
I know. It's very hard to get a hold
events.
of. As I've said, I think I have the annual conversation where I have hosted an awards night in Bendigo where he'll receive some gong, whether it's a monthly award or an overall sports star, and he's never there to collect the bloody thing. I think I've given it to his parents a couple of times, and I still have never interviewed the man. It'd be nice to actually speak to him about some of his amazing achievements in the world of bowls.
Schreiner just on the outside there. The way it sits, Benny, the Falcons will actually take the lead.
Yeah, they will, which is a huge turnaround in this contest. They are fighting for their lives here in Section A, the Melbourne Falcons.
We'll have a quick look at some of the other scores. And the Wolves, 50. Has Hubbard got... Does he get the jack? Does.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
So, as Exodus contemplate this next move...
Holding an ultimate end.
The Wolves 50 lead the Carlo Koalas 25. Wirrala 41 over the Adelaide Heat 34, halfway through N4. The Flem Colts 40 lead the Aussie Coolroos 35, halfway through N4. Nearing the end of N3, the wildcard 32, Raptors 22 as we get back to Lee Schreiner here, who... He's missed the entire head. First, second, third. That is 18 points. It's an ultimate end. And now the Falcons, in a remarkable change, they're in control here, 40-26.
So in the last two ends, the Falcons have gone 40-5. That is a huge, huge turnaround in this match. Still plenty to play out, and of course with Lee Schreiner and Matty Bowse, there's a lot of firepower and scoring power there for Exodus, but all credit to Harry and Ben here.
Oh, great start from Coleman.
Harry just keeps that foot on the throat.
Yeah.
3 more points, and this momentum that they're on at the moment, the Melbourne Falcons, it's going to be very hard for Exodus to find a way to halt it.
That's what I love about the way Harry's going about his game, not just here, but day in, day out. That first end, you mentioned Exodus, an easy 21, a really cheap 21, the ultimate end. But Harry stayed focused, and he's got them back in the game here.
So can he go again? This one is turning and working really hard. He'd like it just to ease off that orange bowl. Perfectly played. Well done. So, yeah, you just, again, Greeny, you just make that point of it. It's very easy to drop your bundle quickly here in UBC in this 5N format. You don't get a chance really to steady the ship like you would on a pennant day, playing in a foursome and having all day, those repeated ends to get yourself out of a bit of a funk. You do that here in the UBC, the game's over before you know it, and it looked as though after one completed end, Exodus were just going to completely dominate this contest, but a huge turnaround. And now it's the Falcons who are in a really dominant position. chance maybe here, unless Matty Bouse can find a lead shot to extend the margin out by 3 more. Weight from Bouse.
He's watching it.
Looks good.
What's the connection? Yeah, good connection. Opens it right up there. Will be further 3 points for the Falcons, but now it's much more a nicer head for Lee Schreiner. You can see the jack. He can get to the bowl as well. Oh, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, so this now, with Lee Schreiner and Ben Hubber heading to the mat, this pretty much, you feel like this is the game here. If Exodus can get themselves a first or second, maybe a first or third, they stay in the mix. But if the Falcons can get a shot bowl here and maybe even a couple.
Well, how about this for a toucher to keep the scoreboard ticking over?
That just makes it that little bit harder for Lee Schreiner now and Team Exodus. This has been a really impressive performance from Harry and Ben the last 10, 15 minutes or so. They have turned a 21-point deficit into what now is a 23-point lead. Lee Schreiner.
He's looking to change the head. He does.
And the touch.
There you go. A little bit of Schreiner brilliance.
Absolutely. Expect nothing less. And not only with the additional 3 points there to bring the margin back to 20, but they now hold first and third. Chance to eat into this deficit as we head towards the final end. Ben watching this closely. High and long work to the back towards the tee there. Now we can hear, might have just picked up on that in our microphones, a little bit of communication between Lee and Matt. Work out the plan of attack for this second last bowl of Lee Schreiner on this fourth end.
Just a touch tight there. Probably looking to take the shot away from Hubber. It's still there for Hubber. Got to be a little bit more direct potentially. He can get that shot ball onto the jack, or he can get the jack himself. He's direct. More weight. He's going to need a lot of luck from here. And now the match swings in the way of Exodus if Schreiner can get a toucher of his own here.
Yeah. Means we're certainly going to a very live fifth end where it's going to be all to play for. So a game of momentum swings here just when we thought the Falcons were about to run away with it. Is this going to turn enough here for Lee Schreiner? It's trying its best. It's going late. It's just going to miss. Great effort. He's a little frustrated, but now it'll just be a matter of who's got that second shot bowl. I think they've called it, and I think, no, maybe not. No, I think they have. There you go. I thought maybe Matty Bouse was going over to measure, but they have called it. It's a first and third to Exodus, second shot bowl to the Falcons. We've got a 12-shot match as we head into this fifth and final end.
Harry Coleman has collected the last 3 ends of the lead shot. So I think for Exodus here, that's where it all starts.
It's a good start for Matty.
If Bouse can swing it around and grab those 3 points, potentially even a toucher or two. But Coleman, he could look to extend this lead.
Looks good weight. Just needs to hold that line a touch. Good start by Harry Coleman. Good start by both leads. Points all important here. Couple of early touches. That lead shot. This looks okay again. So in and around the mark here, both leads. I think it is still going to be the Falcons away with shot.
It's quite a good setup here for Harry. He gives himself a chance now. Adds a foot or two to his last. If he can draw a toucher himself or even sit that last bowl, he looks to be in the area. Can he get down? He's played it well. Look at that for a shot, Benny.
Yep. So lead shot now very much up for grabs. Don't think Matty was overly happy with that out of the hand. He's watching it closely now, though. It's got to do some work late. I don't think it's going to. So
Might see a bit of coverage here from Coleman. No, Hubbard's happy for him to just draw away.
a chance to add 6 to the tally here. If he could get a toucher and maintain that lead shot, just slightly careful with the touch that it's not too heavily weighted, because it is all Exodus and behind the jack. In the end, it's going to duck in underneath. So margin goes out to 15 with half an end to play. TV ring, really entertaining contest. Topsy-turvy, back and forth, and still very much up for grabs. These both sides as the Falcons look to keep their hopes alive in Section A.
Yeah, Benny, I'm all for trying to add more points and extend that lead, but I think there was a missed opportunity there. Try and get some little bit of coverage, because as we know, if the jack gets to the back of the rink, especially going in this direction, it almost takes a hand away, the forehand side on this coverage side.
Yeah, Lee not happy with that. Hands on hips. He gets 2 more opportunities though, and now it's over to Benny Hubbard. They lead by 15. They hold first and second shot, the Falcons, so they're in a good position of strength at the moment. Can Benny Hubbard add to that, knowing full well that he's got a world champion on the mat against him, who only needs half a sniff? This looks pretty good from Ben. It's just going to work towards, is going to get to the behind that closest bowl of Exodus, but still it's first and second with the Falcons. Now to Schreiner. This he seems a little keener on. This he seems a lot keener on. And that's why. Has he done enough? Oh, not quite. I don't know. Hard to tell. He gets the touch, so...
That'll be enough for a draw.
Yeah, very good point. So the margin, I think that's going to update shortly. So it's 15 now. There it goes back to 12.
Ah, so Blue is still holding
Blue's
shot,
still
though.
holding, yeah. I wasn't sure if they'd made the call.
Yeah,
Or were a little undecided.
I thought it was first and second to Exodus.
Ben Hubbard just not quite enough petrol tickets on that. But now this is where the tactics come in with a bowl each to play. They'll call their timeout here. Will Exodus? So what do we need to happen here? I mean, as you said, the tie is still very much on. If Exodus end up with first and second, and the Falcons third, we would end up with 60 apiece. And that's, of course, not factoring in any touches. Quick look around the rinks while we've got a chance here, Greeny, while Lee heads back to the mat.
Yeah, Musgrave 72, defeated the Joeys 54. Raptors 49, trail wildcard 56,
Close.
but hold first, second and third with 3 bowls remaining. The Colts 69, winners over the Roos 54. Warilla Gorillas 68, Adelaide Heat 52. And the Wolves 72 to feed the Koalas. As we see Schreiner here searching on his backhand. Bouse is still watching it. What's it?
No.
Needs connection.
Nope.
No connection. So if it stays this way and it is the shot to the Falcons, they'll hold on for a remarkable win.
Yep. So barring some sort of a disaster here from Ben Hubbard, which he'll play pretty conservative and pretty safe. They know they've not done enough to win. They don't really need to strive for additional points. They will get the shot, which will take them to 67. Exodus will get second and third, which will only be enough to get them up to 63. They will still get a bonus, 53, sorry, I should say. I skipped ahead 10. My maths is a bit off this morning. But it will be a win for the Falcons. And that's a really, really big result, because after one completed end, we were looking at a pretty comfortable Exodus win, but they absolutely roared back into it. So they stay alive, the Melbourne Falcons, off the back of that victory.
Yeah, they sure do.
And Exodus, that's a costly defeat for them.
Well, Falcons will leapfrog Exodus, and that's the interesting thing. The Falcons will actually be in the top 6 with 1 match remaining for their sectional play. So the Falcons 62 defeat Exodus 58. So we'll wait for that to update on the score with the standings. Warilla Gorillas are on top.
Yeah, well, they're into a quarterfinal. There's no question there, Warilla. So, as almost is expected of the team from Warilla, they will go straight through to the money rounds in Event 1. And the Western Wolves, well, they started in a blaze of glory, winning their first 5 matches in this section yesterday morning, but they've dropped 3 of their past 5, so they're still very much in the mix for a quarterfinal berth. But the NC Raptors, again, as we just wait, looks as though that match has just completed, and the Raptors have beaten the wildcard team, and there you go, Greeny, it's just updated. So you would think that Warilla on their points differential can't be caught. NCE and Western Wolves are basically playing off for second spot. And then you've got the Flem Colts, Melbourne Falcons. The UBC wildcard team are hanging on for dear life. Adelaide Heat find themselves outside the top 6, and Exodus are also currently in 8th position, but probably now need to rely on some other results if they're to make it through, and that would be a huge surprise to see Team Exodus miss out on a top 6 berth. But that's pretty much where it's at. 8 teams vying for 6 spots, with 1 round of matches to come.
And Exodus will be playing the NC Raptors in the final round, and the Wolves play Adelaide Heat.
Oh. Well, so you've got that in itself is fascinating, Greeny, because you've got 2 teams that are battling it out for top 2 spots, and you've got their opposing 2 teams that are just battling to stay alive in the competition. So, yeah, that's going to be fantastic viewing, and I'm looking for. And our game, Section A, will see the UBC wildcard team take on the Flem Colts, and those 2 teams in the 6 are also basically playing to make sure they stay in and make it through to a preliminary final. But now, round 10, Section B, our attention turns to Golden State and Moama Black.
Yeah, lining up for Golden State. Ian Law will be leading up for Dan the Man Lemez. And Moama Black, we have Cass Millerick, Australian Jackaroo, and the skip, who needs no introduction at all, but we will provide it, is Alex Marshall, a 6-time world indoor singles champion, 8-time world indoor pairs champion.
So we'll have a look shortly as this match gets underway. Cass Millerick firing the first shot down our TV rink to see what this all means for Section B and what this result from this game might mean for these 2 respective sides. But we'll just have a look here at Ian Law as he sends down his first bowl of this contest. Just get to Greeny in a moment there. Just have a look at those Section B standings. And we can see there for Moama Black, well, this is just a really tight side of the draw, and they are well and truly in the hunt for a top 2 spot. So for them, the equation is simple: win and win well, and they are well and truly in the hunt for a quarterfinal berth. For Golden State, I think it's probably a bridge too far. They're 5 points away from 6th spot, and they've got a couple of teams sandwiched between them in the Southern Stars and Deer Park Club Gold. So they win their last 2, they're an outside chance, but you would think that's probably stretching it. So again, it's about momentum for them heading into Event 2. And that is loud, whatever that is driving past us.
What is that?
It looks something to do with grain, I'd imagine.
I thought it was from the next Transformers movie or something.
A couple of grain trucks by the looks of the funnels out the back, and then the truck behind it as well to collect said grain. I'm gonna suggest grain, showing my lack of a farming background.
And a great shot there from Cass. A couple of looseners here. We saw the same in the previous match.
I reckon we've almost seen it in every game we've seen here on the TV rink. That first end, and particularly for the leads, just that adjustment to the different speed of this TV rink green. So
yeah,
I certainly don't think it's a criticism of the leads, because it's been happening to all of them. And as I said, we spoke to Ali Forsyth yesterday on the coverage, and he said there is clearly a difference in the speeds and the adjustment that players need to make from our main green behind us to the TV rink here. So they usually get it sorted pretty quickly, and that's the quality of these athletes. They're pretty good at correcting.
And as you know, there's no trial ends, there's no warm-ups.
No.
It's straight on and go.
No, we touched on that too yesterday, we Greeny, that if you're going to play on the TV rink, you want the first match of the morning, because then you do get a little sneaky chance to have a roll-up, or you want to be coming on after there's been a lunch break or something like that, where you can get out and have a few rolls. Obviously, that's not a luxury that's afforded to every team that plays out here, but take the opportunity when you can, I suppose.
Yeah, and in line with fairness, it's the same for each team who's playing that match on the rink. So if you're playing just after a break, both teams are permitted to have a practice, as they are on the other green as well.
Yep.
And then if they're playing after a round that's already been played, then neither team get a practice.
No.
So.
Yeah, we'll often see both the teams. It may only be one player from one team or two from the other. They'll come out and just have a roll together. And
it's just taken Alex Marshall 2 bowls.
Yeah.
One for a little bit of a cider, and then right on top of the jack, as we see the first toucher of the match.
Yeah. First toucher, and Moama, of course, courtesy of Cass's leading, got the shot, the 3 points for the changeover. Now Dan Lemez, a man who is a Golden State. And he looks like he's done well. Just missing to that high side and almost took a little touch on the way through. So Moama holding first and second. Third shot with Golden State. 1 bowl each to come from our skips to see out this first end. And it'll be Alex Marshall firing away, looking to add more points. Maybe work this in for a first, second and third. He's going to do that. Still plenty of target room here for Dan Lemez. And if he could perhaps trail this jack through, he's got 3 bowls all positioned nice and closely together behind the jack. This could swing pretty sharply. I don't know if this is going to get it done though.
Needs a touch. He just slides under. Does it hold on for second though?
It's very close. Shot bowl with Moama, no question there. And made a call pretty quickly. It doesn't look like it did. So first and second with Moama Black, and Golden State pick up 3 for third. 21-3 the score after 1 completed end.
Well, we saw the Falcons come back from 21-0.
We did.
Last match. So
yep.
If Golden State were watching that, they can take that on board. And as we said then, it all starts with this second end. And just starting to just build up your scoring potential. Benny, I think we've got our first beanbag victim of the week as the sun is shining in the beanbags.
I can attest, having sat in them extensively at last year's event, Dandenong, they are some of the most comfortable beanbags getting around. And if you've had a long day, what time is it? Maybe if you've had a big night. Yeah, 11:40. I'd suggest it's more to do with the big night. Very, very easy to drift off.
Alex just willing this bowl of Cass's in. Perfect line. It's a foot shy. Ian Law here on his backhand. Doesn't need to do a massive change with the weight. You don't want to be pulling up short. You still want to give yourself a chance to get to that jack. He's done well with the weight.
So, Greeny, in one of my more recent side hustles over the past few months, I've been doing some court announcing for the Bendigo Spirit in the WNBL.
I thought you were going to say court as in you're there.
Okay. No, not appearing in court. No, not yet. Touch wood. And they have obviously a lot of activation. I think you've been to some basketball games. A lot of activations. A lot of kids there. You like to keep the crowd entertained. they have a thing called Oblivious Cam, where they'll train the camera onto someone who's tapping away on their phone or just having a bit of I think maybe we need Snooze Cam here at the UBC. Maybe in the once the finals start, it gets a bit louder. It's a bit harder to fall asleep. But I reckon right now, Snooze Cam on the young. That lady over there is enjoying the beanbags. I think we could probably bring that in for 2026, along with the Golden Glove and a few other little ideas.
Post-toucher celebration.
Post-toucher celebration, but yeah, Snooze Cam would get a hell of a workout, particularly at these parts of the day when maybe for the fans things are meandering on a little bit. But
especially when the sun comes out. We've had a chilly morning.
Well, it's beautiful. You can see actually some of our fans, our spectators, have positioned the beanbags back a touch from the side of the rink to enjoy the benefits of said sunshine. It's a beautiful day out there at the moment. The wind has eased up, which I think is a win for all involved.
And the measure coming out to determine who had the lead shot there. We'll wait for confirmation.
Yeah, Moama Black.
So it is further points there for Moama. And it'll be the second end in a row that Cass has claimed that lead shot.
So a really strong start here, Moama Black. So Dan Lemez, Golden State, they just need to find some points just to stay in touch. As we said, it looks as though a chance to play in the finals in this event one is a touch beyond them, but they can certainly help shape the top six and the makeup of it. And as we've touched on, just build a little momentum into tomorrow's start for event two.
Okay, this is the opportunity here for Dan the Man. Perfect weight. Pretty much perfect weight with his first. Just a slight correction with the line. Does he get to this jack? Benny, what a little correction that was. 3 points there. Holding shot. Probably third shot as well. Just what the doctor ordered for Golden State.
Yeah, I said points just a necessity in this second end. They don't want to let the margin get too far away from them, Golden State. And that from Dan Lemez. Dan the Man living up to the name. Really important now to Alex Marshall with the response, his final bowl of this second end. And he can't come up with it there on that occasion, Taddy, so nearly falls over the seat on the way through into the corporate section as well. Don't want any injuries, do not want any injuries to our stars. But so first and third Golden State, can Dan Lemez find another one in nice and close?
He'll be looking to get to that second shot bowl.
Tell you what, I think he's going to go very, very close. Brilliant.
What an effort that was.
Just went on a little touch too far. I don't think it'll change the standings when it comes to shot bowls, but yeah, great back end to end number two there from Golden State, and keeps them in touch as we head into the third and very important end here on our TV rink.
Yeah, get a lot of confidence out of that too, Dan, man. It was 3 good bowls. The third bowl just missing a landing, which would have been an ultimate end. But it was his second bowl, which was a big one, clutch, especially for the moment of the match with Moama in control to get the toucher and then hold on for the shot. Valuable points there for Golden State.
So solid there from Ian Law to start this third end, and gets a hearty clap from his skip in Dan Lemez. Now it's over to Cass Millerick. Alex Marshall watching this one pretty closely. Looks like it'll hit the front of Ian Law's bowl to ease in for shot. Early stage of this third end.
Speaking of early stages, Benny, let's have a quick look around the rinks. Broadbeach 31, Deer Park Club Blue 14. And so if we have a look at the standings, it's a top of the table clash.
It is too, yeah.
Bundura 32, the Centurions 19. They Centurions need to win, Benny, even though they were coming second.
When we had them here,
Yeah, they don't want to. They can't afford to have a couple of losses because there is a great chasing pack there. Dandenong 44 lead Port Sorrel 16. And the Kiwana Thunder looking to bounce back there, 39-18 leaders over Deer Park Club Gold. And the Southern Stars 37 lead Moama Green 17.
Yeah, Section B, as we said, it's so close, so tight. It's 4 points separating first through eighth, so there is so much to gain and a lot to lose depending on results in this round 10. It will leave just one round of matches to come for both sections once this is completed. Currently, courtesy of a brilliant second bowl from Cass Millerick, it is Moama Black who hold the lead shot and will, at worst, add another 3 to their tally at the changeover. Can she make it 6? This looks mighty good. This could not have gone any closer. An amazing effort from Cass Millerick. Her final 2 bowls there are about as good as it gets. And look at that, Jack. You could hear a little comment from the crowd saying, bloody short again. Obviously, he said very much tongue firmly in cheek. But, yeah, brilliant there from Cass Millerick. And very appreciative Alex Marshall as he heads down to the mat.
Yeah, keeps a perfect record. 3 out of 3 for lead shot.
So now we touched on how impressive Dan was as he goes with weight here, looking to clear those 2 bowls covering the jack. He's just going to miss to the low side. And it is Moama again in a really strong position here in this third end, holding all 3 shot bowls at the moment. Alex is just going to pop this one out the back.
Yeah, get there early because he has got last bowl. So if Dan was to run again and miss, he'd still have plenty of room there. I think Dan's going to turn his focus now to trying to get as close as he can.
Yep.
There is still a little bit of the jack there as well, so while it's there, try and take that opportunity. He's given it a big chance here.
Just the legs, I think, just the legs. And yeah, it was tracking well for a long time, that bowl. Might have been enough to get them into third shot. Just wait for that to update. But here's Alex Marshall. Legs again, he wants it to go. He wants it to go.
Past the blue.
And it does get past. Look at that. Fantastic. So back to an ultimate end with 1 each to come from the skips. And Moama now, a massive chance, unless Dan Lemez can come up with something really special, to skip clear in this contest and certainly consolidate their spot inside the top 6. And not just that, knowing that one of Broadbeach and Deer Park have to lose, they could find themselves well and truly inside the top 2 with 1 match to play.
Yeah, avoiding those first elimination finals. And not only that, securing a check, securing some guaranteed money.
And it's just, I mean, I'm sure each player would feel their own specific way about it. But, you know, to get a good result in the first event, bit of money in the kitty, just takes that little bit of pressure off for events 2 and 3. Of course, all players coming here, that the goal is to walk away with something, whether it's a title or a little bit of prize money. So this looks pretty good.
Can he get back to the jack here?
Yeah. Oh, he got it. He got it.
He has.
Even I'm going to applaud that, and that's brilliant.
Added a further 3 points.
The doffing of the cap, the crowd's happy. See Cohen in front of us from the Flem Colts. He's just removed the cap for Alex Marshall, and rightfully so. That was some brilliant bowls, and that's a huge end. 53-19. They've kept Golden State scoreless while adding 24 of their own. So they're looking mighty fine at the moment, Moama Black, and are going to be definitely the team to watch out of this Section B one of the ones to beat. And look, that really, again, I mean, we know that we had the razzle-dazzle at the end there from Alex Marshall, but that was set up so brilliantly by Cass, leading off, getting those touches, not quite the touches, but certainly getting the lead shot and just setting up that head beautifully for Alex Marshall.
Spot on, Benny. Look, it gave Alex the chance, too, to cover with his first. He played a real good one with his second, but that third bowl, that you could watch that on replay all day.
Yeah, I must admit, when I saw him head to the mat, they already held the ultimate end, and a mere mortal would have just said, let's just play it safe, don't do anything silly, don't upset the apple cart, but that's not how Alex Marshall was thinking. He was thinking, there's 3 more points here, along with the ultimate end.
And a further 3 points.
She's on fire here, Cass Millerick. She is dialed in, and that one is not on, ma'am. You're okay. You'll be fine. Some of our spectators. That's right.
And let's have a quick look at some of the scores, Benny. Deer Park Club Blue 41, Broadbeach 40, Bundoora 51, Windsor 27, and Bundoora holding first, second and third. Dandenong Club 65, lead Port Sorell Sharks 19, Kawana 45,
That's
hold a
got tight.
slender lead over the Deer Park Club Gold 42, Southern Stars 56, Moama Green 22.
Oh, the Southern Stars are one of those teams that is fighting for their life. Cass Millerick's just doing Cass Millerick things at the moment.
Just sensational.
That's almost a repeat of that third end. She has just gone and done it again. But yeah, the Southern Stars were that team. I think they were 8th coming into this round of matches, but only 4 points off top spot, which is just crazy. And they're doing everything right at the moment. In fact, they've just skipped to us. They're home. 71-25 they now lead after an ultimate end against Moama Green. Nice effort there from
Yeah, he's opened it up, changed the head, different angles now, so there is opportunities for Dan to get in there.
3 more to the tally of Moama Black, so they're now out to what was already a healthy lead. It's become even more healthy now, 37 to the good. And barring some sort of a miracle here from Dan Lemez at this skip end of the 4th, it's a case of how far Moama at the moment. This looks good again from Alex Marshall. Just exquisite.
Really good signs here for Moama Black, especially playing on this TV rink, finding some form on it right now, heading into this afternoon.
Do you think they might feel pretty comfortable playing here?
I reckon there might be just a couple of extra
bit of
supporters.
Knowledge, yeah. And we know that having seen them perform well at the Moama event a couple of years ago, that home support really does come into effect. It's a good effort there by Dan Lemez. He's changed the head up there, and now I think
He'd be close to shot.
I thought right on the line there. I reckon it's almost a measure. Alex wanting that to hold out. Or
He'd
maybe
love to get the gap
through and a touch in.
He's done well. He's done well to get through there without promoting the Blues.
So certainly now back to shot for Moama Black. Probably a measure there for second. Second and third there currently with Golden State. See our marker come in just to try and assess.
Just going to run through a touch.
So final bowl of the 4th end for Alex Marshall. He'll see points here again. Don't worry about that. Lead shot, maybe 3 for a toucher.
He's on a good line to the jack here.
It's got it. Oh, he got it. I actually felt a little nervous there. Just got within about a foot. I thought maybe it's going to turn too much, but never doubt the man. 62 they move to now, Moama Black. A toucher. They have dominated since, well, pretty much the outset. We know Golden State had a strong second end, but it's been all Moama Black and currently holding first and second shot. So here's Dan with weight.
Needs a luck.
Not going to get it.
A lot of it.
Not going to get it. So they will extend that lead out even further now. 77 will play 22. Hopefully my math a touch better this time. And, well, while there's not much to look forward to as far as the contest is concerned, perhaps Moama Black can try and attain triple figures here. They need 23 to make it happen.
Yeah, well, they're doing what all the good teams and successful teams do, Benny. They're continuing their scoring. There's 4 or 5 touches already been scored by Moama Black, but the lead shot, first 4 ends, has all gone their way. So they're not very stagnant on the scoreboard. It's just continually turning that over.
So Cass's line there again is absolutely spot on. Just going about 2.5 feet past the jack. Now for Ian Law. He'll be a touch underneath.
A couple of the other scores, Benny, all these matches on their 5th end as well. Deer Park Club Blue 56, Trail Broadbeach 59. So Broadbeach have just started to push away a touch there. Bundura, though, 72, lead Windsor Centurions 30. So a big lead there.
Big lead.
Port Sorell 33, Dandenong 78. And Kawana Deer Park Club Gold is only 1 point in it. The Kawana Thunder lead 56-55. Rounding out those matches, one which has been completed. The Southern Stars 84 defeated Moama Green 36. And as you touched on, that result pushes Southern Stars into the top 6 as it stands. Still another number of games to be completed, but they're inside and they've got a chance now heading in the last round.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that's all they can do. I mean, they could find themselves in a situation where coming into the last round of matches, their destiny's in their own hands, and that's where you'd prefer to be. You don't want to have to rely on other results, but at the moment, they're winning, and that's all they can do. And they needed everything to go right on this second day, and the Southern Stars 2 from 2 this morning. So far, so good.
And it's fair to say the Moama Green side, as we see Moama Black put on a clinic here, Moama Green have decided to focus on events 2 and events 3 because Kevy, who is part of the Moama Green side, but also looks after the facility here, the wonderful facility, he's actually got his work gear on.
Yeah.
And he's
on
working.
the clock. He's on the clock now. He'll be punching in and punching out the timesheet. It's, very much that's where the focus has gone to. And that's fair enough. Of course, with 2 more events to come, you've got to pace yourself. But yes, you're right about the facilities here. Absolutely world class, and we always feel very well looked after. I'm sure the players would agree. Moama Black, by the way, at 80. So still the hunt for the triple figures goes on. An ultimate end here and one more toucher, and they'll get there.
Yeah, it was a perfect clean sweep for Cass Millerick, claiming lead shot in all 5 ends.
So Dan just a touch frustrated. Just hasn't been their match, Golden State. Had a little bit of joy in that second end, but aside from that, and the 16 shots that they picked up in that particular end, they've only registered another 6 points, and there you go. Alex Marshall with the toucher and Chris Green. They are holding an ultimate end. So as it stands, they're tunning up. There is a bit to play out. Of course, Dan's still with 2 bowls to come, but another 18. They will hit the triple figures, which would be the first time we've seen it on our TV rink this week.
The big thing too, Benny, is with this massive margin,
Yep.
and the close match between the Bulls and Deer Park Club Blue, which the Bulls won, Moama are going to move into top spot. So they'll move straight up to the top position with 1 match remaining, courtesy of their extremely strong for and against.
Yeah, that's you'd feel a touch for Broadbeach. You'd probably be sitting there going, we haven't done much wrong yet. We're going to still find ourselves in second. Kawana, who came into this morning top of the table, well, they're now fighting for a top 2 spot. There is going to be plenty on the line when we head into that last round 11 group game setup.
And the Centurions are out of the top 6 as it stands.
Who were flying again this morning were in the top 2. So it's been as we said, and we did say this would be likely to happen. There would be a lot of chopping and changing with these last 3 round of matches for the sections. And certainly it's lived up to its billing this morning.
So here we go. A chance for the ton.
Yeah, I think they're going to get there. They're not happy. It's just not turning as he thought it might. So they will.
Probably just the weight that got him there.
Ultimate end to finish. And we'll see Moama Black finish with 101. And they'll run out very, very convincing winners over the Golden State back there on 22. And that was dominant from start to finish.
Benny, Golden State scored 3 points over ends 3 to 5 there.
Yeah.
Just 3 points.
Well, 6 points, yeah, 6 across 4 ends.
Yeah.
It was only that second end where they really got the scoreboard ticking over. And, yeah, just one. Look, Cass, brilliant off the top.
Yes.
Alex Marshall just put the icing on the cake, really. And, yeah, that's a huge result for Moama Black because they're going to head now to their bags. They're going to look up at the standings and they're going to see that they've gone from 4th to 1st and set themselves up beautifully for a quarterfinal berth. They're going to be pretty hard to catch now. There it is, the update. Look at that points differential change. Incredible.
And as you can see, current scores on your screen. If you want to follow up on any of the current scores, and the beauty is it actually shows you who's holding first, second and third shot. It tells you what end, what bowl. That's the beauty with the current scores and the live scores, and you can just head to ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard so you can see the scoreboard and the standings. And those standings are quite incredible if you are to jump on and have a look, because we have just a couple of matches remaining. So each team plays 11 sectional games for Section A and Section B, and there is still a little bit of room to move for a number of teams there.
Yeah. Well, our next event here on the TV rink, Greenie, we've got the UBC wildcard taking on the Flem Colts, and this is a huge game. I mean, they're all huge games, it feels like at the moment, but Flem sitting 4th, and look, they can't go into the top 2, so they are literally just playing for a final spot here. They're 4th. Their opponents, the UBC wildcard event 1 team, is currently sitting in 6th spot, courtesy of a bonus point. They have Adelaide and Exodus hot on their heels. And they know it's a pretty simple equation. They win, they're in. Should they lose, they're relying on other results to fall their way. But, yeah, for Flemken and UBC wildcard team here, nice and simple. Just get the W. Have a spell, get ready to go again at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's it, Benny. That is it. They've got to win. Both teams have got to win here. You don't want to be losing and then quickly heading around the corner to see what the other scores are. Just a win secures a spot in the finals, and that's all that matters. They're 5 ends away from finals.
David Neesham on the YouTube feed. Good morning, 1 a.m. here in the UK. Top class bowls. Alex Marshall is looking trim and fit. I'll make sure I pass that on to Alex when I see him a little bit later for you there, David. Ken Fulton is watching from Bathurst. Good on you, Ken. Great to, as I said, see where people are watching and listening from right around the globe. And that's what it's all about. Attracting the best bowlers from around the globe and having spectators watching far and wide as well, cheering on for their respective countries and the athletes representing them so brilliantly here this week in Moama.
And here we go, Benny. UBC wildcard using blue bowls, and the Flem Colts with the orange. Matthew Lucas leading up for Flem Cohen Litfin skipping. James Webster supporting from the sideline, and we have Jacob Brighton. So Jacob's a Moama local. He's also a Vic under-18 representative. He'll be leading up for the 2023 Vic State Singles Champion in Matty O'Brien. With Leanne Paulson sideline cheering on her boys.
Yeah, and while we sit here as impartial as we can be, Greenie, you and I really don't have any dogs in the fight, so to speak, but we do always have a soft spot for the UBC wildcard team, and you want to see them go well. And to see them make it through to the knockouts would would be, it's not something that happens all that often across the journey of the UBC since its inception. We may have had one UBC team.
I think two teams have been, yeah.
So it's not a lot when you think about 6-7 years it's been running, 3 events. It's a lot of events with not much UBC wildcard success. So to see another team make it through, that would be pretty special. But of course, Flem Colts have got other ideas here on our TV rink. Jacob Brighton following this down, heading to the back and not far from sitting on the tee, just back a little bit further and he would have had it.
Yeah, there'd be no issues there where that's finished.
No. Now we see Matty Lucas. Cohen just asking it to turn, not quite sharp enough, but it'll be the first 3 points of this contest going the way of the wildcard team with the lead shot. Now the skips will head to the mat to do their thing. Matthew O'Brien and Cohen Litfin. And watching this table in Section B in our next round of matches is just going to be fascinating. As we said, there's just nothing separating so many sides, whereas in Section A, looks as though Warilla and the NC Raptors probably done enough to make their way through to a quarter. There's our
touch up.
A couple of points here for the wildcard team. Great start from Matthew O'Brien. So early advantage wildcard. Cohen's going to run this one all the way through into the ditch. Crowd just starting to slowly but surely build here at the Moama Bowling Club. As people start to plan, that could be another 3 as well. Oh, very close.
Just slid past, but very good.
Yeah,
Gets a second shot out of it.
Radar is on for the skip of the UBC wildcard team, Matty O'Brien. But yeah, as we get into now a Monday afternoon, I'm sure plenty of Bowls fans in the region have attended to their tasks this morning and have now got a bit of spare time, hopefully, to get along here and watch some great action. That's a nice response there from Cohen Litfin. Tough to call on who's got shot here.
Yeah, that was a super conversion then from Cohen. Really changed things up, gets the jack out there, but he's gone from 2 down to potentially holding shot, if not very close for second.
Yeah, Jacob seemed pretty confident they've got shot. Just having a look from a visual point of view. Too close for me to call, especially with my eyesight. I'll back him in. Young man is suggesting, and as the scoreboard also reiterates, that they may have shot. So now it's a case of Matty O'Brien just trying to sit one out the back or as deep as he possibly can. And he's managed to do that. So let's see what Cohen Litfin can do with his final bowl of this opening end. Looks tight, but it could work here.
Gets a piece of the jack.
Oh, he very nearly
got
did.
the shot bowl.
Yeah. So out comes the measure. With so much riding on this result for both of these teams, they won't be leaving anything to chance. If it's too tight to call from a visual point of view, they will get the measuring equipment out. Just get that confirmed. And after the first completed end, shot bowl went the way of the Flem Colts, and the scoreboard in their favour by 2. They lead 13-11.
Musgrave currently 21 3 litres over the Aussie Cool Roos. The Aussie Cool Joey's 5 trail the Carlo Koalas. I think there'll be a review session by the Aussie Cool Roos and Joey's inside in the sports bar and working on a plan for events 2 and 3.
Do you think a bit of leading teams? They'll set up the circle of chairs and just a few home truths, or it might be a bit more gentle than that, you would hope. Yeah. Adelaide playing for their lives too.
Yeah.
After a good start against the Western Wolves.
And holding first and second. Wirral 19 lead the Falcons 8, and Exeter 16 lead the Raptors 8.
Yeah, well, those 2 bottom games, Wirral and Melbourne. Wirral, as we said, you'd think pretty much right for a quarterfinal berth. Melbourne Falcons playing for their lives. Exodus likewise up against the Raptors, another team who are looking pretty comfortable. So, yeah, some big games. I mean, they're all big games at this stage of the event. But wow, this Section 8, there is a lot to play out in, particularly those positions 3 through to about 8. Just getting a little update to come through from the wonderful Rebecca Jelly, who's doing all of the admin stuff behind the scenes here, amongst many other roles, to make sure things run smoothly. Update in our Golden Touch. Again, we're not going to reveal any names, but with a round of matches, effectively a round of matches still to be played for both sections, we have, wow, in fact, we actually have 2 players equal on top with 23 touches. We have 1 player occupying second with 21, and we have another player 1 further back on 20. So very tight at the top for the Golden Touch Award. I think in years gone by, we've seen Golden Touch winners generally around the 30 mark too. So
yeah,
a little bit under that this year, and I'm not sure if that's down to anything in particular. Maybe the greens, the players just working in or easing into their week. This looks pretty good here from Jacob Brighton.
Gets a bit of the jack as well.
Yeah, brilliant, well done.
That's a big bowl, 6 points.
Yep.
6 points for that. 3 for the toucher, 3 for the lead crossover. And second end, and it's his second time holding that lead shot at the crossover. So
still no sign. I will just update our listeners. I've only got the very small screenshot here from Beck, but still no sign of our man Mark Casey. Thought it might have been his morning where he just all clicked, but yeah, no.
maybe he's ineligible for it, so he gets deducted. No, he's a team player case.
Is it the do it as a team and do it my way sort of operator? Yeah.
He was telling me how efficient he was at leading yesterday.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's gone from lead to skip. So,
Okay.
yeah.
This has been a really good contest so far. And now it's Cohen Litfin with the
Gets
drive.
the
He's done
bowl
it brilliantly.
clean.
Yeah. Without even bothering the jack, he's worked wild card out of shot bowl to now the Colts holding first and second. Matty O'Brien, can he work this off the orange? He's done that beautifully. Well done. So shot for shot, and he gets the roll at the end there just to edge a touch closer. So we expected a tight contest. We're getting one so far, and all 4 players are playing their roles in it. Just misses the jack on the way through. So final opportunity here for Matty O'Brien in this second end to... he's got plenty of room to move here, hasn't he, Greeny?
Yeah.
And he can get in here for second shot quite comfortably.
And the jack's open too.
Yep.
So he's got a really good guide there, that wing orange one you see on the screen to the left. That'll be this...
Well, I said for first and second, I hold that now, so maybe an ultimate end, plus a toucher here. A really gentle toucher, and this could be a huge moment in this contest. Don't know if that's going to turn enough. It's got to do some work late. Can he take a touch from the orange bowl?
He gets the touch, so he's back for, well, that looks to be second. And if they already had second, it'll be first, second, and third. We'll wait for confirmation.
I think that's just been confirmed for you there, Greeny. That looks like an ultimate end. Maybe not. Maybe, no. There you go. In fact, it is Flemken who've held on for that third shot bowl still. For the wildcard team, they skip out to a 32-16 lead.
Yeah, so that wing bowl was second prior to that final bowl there from O'Brien. But a nice handy little lead here for the wildcard side.
Absolutely. They call the third quarter in footy the premiership quarter. I always sort of assess these third ends, the middle ends, as effectively the crucial end in these really tight games. And even though it's a 16-point margin at the moment in favour of the wild card, probably doesn't give a great reflection of just how close this match has been so far. This looks like a good start from Matty Lucas, though. So points here from the leads, some touches, and the crossover would be massive, particularly for the Colts to stay in touch, for wildcard to really drive home this early advantage. Is this going to hold? Not quite. Just underneath. The weight was pretty solid.
Yeah, there's no surprise, Benny, that when teams do come back from margins, it's generally the leads who start that momentum building, because if they're not scoring points, whether it be touches or lead shots, then it's a lot harder for the skipper to try and manipulate and manufacture something. Because it's a guaranteed 3 points at the crossover as well. If you're not getting it, your opponents are. So that's one of the areas where if there is a deficit, it comes down to the leads really starting it off.
So here's Jacob Brighton again. This doesn't look bad.
He's done again, has he?
He's got the touch. He's going to concede the lead shot, but it's 3 points, so it sort of cancels that out, unless, of course, Matty Lucas can not only maintain the lead shot, but also get himself a toucher here.
Yeah, I think he's got to give himself that chance. And is he going to get down? He doesn't want to pop it.
No, I was going to say the risk there was that he hit his own bowl and moved the jack over to that blue bowl on that right-hand side. He avoided that, but they do get the lead shot, so it effectively cancels each other out. 35-19 the score, so no harm, no foul for either side. We are, as we were at the end of the second, with a 16-point margin between these two sides.
How's Matty looking here? Just a touch tight by the looks of things. Can he promote the blue? He has. Oof. So still a very good setup there. That's it. Matty Lucas confirming with Cohen, still getting down there with confidence. Try and play the shot first. Yeah, still finishes in good areas there. Matty O'Brien be searching for that bowl. He's in the area here, Benny. What's he got?
Very good.
Where's the
and a touch as well.
That is near perfect.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Matty O'Brien, take a bow, and Jacob Brighton. Here's the weight. No mucking about from Cohen Litfin, and he's now going to have the jack re-spotted. That.
Yeah, it'll be close to see. I think the wild card's got the spot at the moment.
They're right on it, aren't they? Or just about right on it. Yep. So there was a toucher there as well for the Colts. He did not muck. I was going to say, no sooner had we just congratulated Matty O'Brien on a wonderful bowl that the delivery from Cohen Litfin was already halfway down the green. I looked up and it was flying. But it is still the wildcard team. Just waiting for that to update. It is the wildcard team that holds the shot bowl at the moment, and as Matty tries to work this down, not quite getting it there, but first and third. And so the last of this end from Cohen Litfin.
Yeah, the play is to try and land the bowl. Give themselves a chance. It's going, though.
No. Won't get the job done there. So first and third with the wildcard team. Second with the Colts. 51-27. So still a really productive end for the wildcard team. They added 19 and 11 going the way of the Colts. So they extend the margin out to 24. We'll have to head around those rinks again shortly, Greenie. Just as we said, every couple of minutes things are changing dramatically.
Yeah, let's do it while these opening bowls head down the green. Once again, a handy start here from Jacob Brighton. Musgrave 40 lead the Aussie Coolroos 35. The Joeys 31, trail Carlo Koalas 41. Adelaide Heat 43 over the Western Wolves 17. The Falcons are still just hanging in there, 34 trailing the Gorillas 56. Exodus 43-23 leaders over the Raptors, and with 2 bowls remaining on the fourth end, hold first, second and third.
Yeah, see that for me, if I was a member of another team, to see Exodus, if they just scrape into that top 6, I reckon they've done that before too. They've just sort of got in at the death and then go on these amazing runs through the finals. They are certainly a team you'd be very, very nervous about. Adelaide Heat look like they're doing enough to maybe play themselves into a top 6 spot.
Yeah, it looks that way at the moment.
And it looks also like the wildcard team, the way things are tracking here. We watch this from Matt Lucas. That's got Jack written all over it.
Yes.
So that's an important 3 points. Just as I was about to suggest that the wildcard team here, a solid end, a strong end here, and they could just about put themselves into the preliminary finals. Matty Lucas just says, hold that thought, Benny. We are still very much in the mix here. And now the players have to readjust their pace, their speed, their delivery. As we hear a Jack smash into signage behind us.
And ahs.
Haven't had a Jack explode yet this week, which of course happened. I think that was that here 2 years ago? I do remember someone.
Yeah, I think it was here, yeah.
Yeah, I think over maybe on the green behind us there was a Jack that exploded. It was quite a humorous moment. So we're picking up pieces of the Jack for the next 15 minutes.
So further 3 points there to the Colts, courtesy of the lead crossover. Matty Lucas is, well, he just showed that intent with his second bowl. You know, short it with his first. He knew he had to get his bowl up there, get the Jack on the end of it. Even if he landed the blue bowl was going to be handy, but he did. He got the ultimate result with the Jack.
Speaking of ultimate, that's what they trail by. I know it sounds easy to say, but that's all they require here, an ultimate end to get themselves back on level pegging. And with plenty of real estate here, the Jack now towards the back of the green. It's not without a chance. They hold first and second, the Colts, and as has been the case in this match, Cohen Litfin is wasting no time on the mat. Not even sure the shot clock operator had a chance to press the button on that occasion. This looks good. This looks great.
He has. He's played it well.
First, second, third, the Colts.
Not a huge correction needed here. The weight's very good from O'Brien. Benny, that temperature's just started to drop a touch, and it's got a little bit darker here at Moama.
Yeah, you're right. Just looking in the background there, Greeny, maybe a couple of little showers on the way. I tell you who Matty reminds me of, particularly with his post-delivery stance. He's got a bit of the Aaron Wilsons about him, just the hand held up, watching the bowl intently.
They would have played a lot together in the juniors as well.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's been plenty of inspiration and guidance there along the journey. They're back to holding the ultimate end. So this becomes a big bowl here from Matthew O'Brien. We could see scores all tied up here shortly, heading into the fifth and final end. He chases this one down the green.
Well, Benny, one of the big things is first he's got to try and get the shot or second shot, but also hide it. So, really without taking any risks here, I mean, he could still give this a nudge for a toucher and hold the ultimate end, which would then put the Flem King Colts in front. Incredible.
Which, after trailing by 24, coming into this fourth end, you could have almost named your own price as to the likelihood of that happening. But let's see what Cohen Litfin can do here. Final bowl, fourth end. Scores will be level unless he can work this in for a toucher.
Red hot crack.
Not going to be far away, but still, wow. 51 apiece with an end to play and effectively a winner-take-all affair here as far as the preliminary finals are concerned.
Well, let me just have a little bit of a look at the equation here. Adelaide, who are leading by 28 with two bowls and one end remaining in the match. And Exodus, who are 18 in front. So one or two of those teams, I'm guessing, are going to win.
Suggest almost, yeah, you'd suggest both are likely at this stage.
So
They go up. And that means one of the Flem Colts or the UBC wildcard might drop out. Now, I think the Falcons are also battling a little at the moment. So
well, now we'll start talking about these sort of scenarios here.
in fact, the Falcons are done. So their game against Warilla is finished. They are in 5th, but they are only 2 points clear of Adelaide and Exodus. So if either of those two sides win, they're out.
Well,
unless.
Here's a scenario for you. The wildcard team wins and go to 19 points.
Yep.
The Colts lose but score over 63 and get a bonus point, and they're on 19. So then they're both secure.
So many scenarios, so little time to try and work them all out. And that's, again, I keep saying it, it's a bit of a cliche, the beauty of the format. It can all change in the space of 60 seconds. Just when you think you've got a bit of a grasp on it, we can see things are starting to change as matches are completed.
Can he get to the jack here? Off his own, and it's a toucher.
Brilliant.
Played well. He has played well. There's no doubt about that. It's actually been a great little battle in the leads here. Jacob and Matty.
So one thing we can confirm is that the Warilla Gorillas will finish top. That's a given. Who finishes second? Still up for grabs, but it looks as though it will be the NCE Raptors.
And look at these for points.
How's the
More
response?
Points.
How's the response from Matt Lucas?
So both teams just 9 shy of the bonus point.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course the wildcard team already beneficiaries of having a bonus point earlier on in the event. The team above them, the Melbourne Falcons, well, they're where they're at because they've also had 2 of their own. And 54 apiece, but 3 more about to head the way of the Flem Colts. As we turn for home here, Greenie, this is what it is all about. This is what we love about this part of an event, is everything is on the line.
Well, the Flem Colts, they're now just 6 points away from the finals berth, because if they get to 63, they're fine.
They're home.
Because they'll get the bonus points, so they'll move to 19.
Yeah, well, I wonder if that's something that they factor in here. Obviously, the higher you finish, the lower the team you will get in those preliminary finals, and makes your pathway perhaps a touch easier, but look at this.
There's 3 of them.
There you go. So they are 3 away. Another toucher, and their finals berth is confirmed. I'm not sure they'll be thinking like that. I think it's more just win the game, and that takes care of itself. But I tell you who's been impressive throughout is Matthew O'Brien. So the wildcard team still very much in the hunt here. 9 more, the magic number for them perhaps. This is a great effort, a great run. Gets to the back. Still with a couple of bowls to come.
Yeah, Cohen just going to be past the jack here. Doesn't need to fatten up the target. Doesn't need to give any angles to work off.
Musgrave Pelicans have momentarily, look at the points differential there.
Yes.
They've worked their way into the top 6. Hadn't even factored them in a couple of moments ago. I think it will only be temporary because, as I said, they've got both the wildcard team, Adelaide, and throw in Exodus, of course, behind them, only trailing by a point.
2 big bowls here. This is the second last of the match for O'Brien, and needs to change this. He needs to get back to the bowl. He's on a tighter line. It's not clear the front.
Gonna get there. It's just not turning enough. Good effort, good attempt.
See, Benny, just that increased weight there. He plays the same weight as his previous bowl. He probably gets down to the shot bowl. So he'll only have 1 bowl remaining. And at this stage, it looks like they're going to miss out in the finals. They've been in the top 6 pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah, it would be a shame. As I said, it's a rare occurrence. We haven't seen it happen a lot. The wildcard team making their way through. It looks as though Exodus are home. You could pretty much say that. Well, I say Adelaide Heat.
That'd be heartbreaking for the Heat.
They're leading by 17, but they're down an ultimate end, which is 18 with 2 bowls.
Remain.
Yep. So not putting that one in the scorebook yet. But I think you're right. Unless Matthew O'Brien can come up with something really special here, it might be heartbreak for the wildcard team. Just waiting to see a few more of these results unfold. Exodus are up to 4th, so they're into the finals. But it's Adelaide now and the UBC wildcard team that, well, Adelaide win, they go in, of course, but UBC, they're down an ultimate end here with 1 bowl to come. They've called the timeout. So this will be the final bowl of Section A, round 11. Just waiting to see that Adelaide Heat score update. Still down the ultimate end. Looks like 1 bowl to come. And I'd say they're probably in a similar situation to what we're seeing here on the TV rink. They're just maybe taking the time out and really assessing that final bowl. Here's Matthew O'Brien to keep the UBC wildcard team alive. Is it turning? It's not. And unfortunately, I think that means they will just fall short. It's been a brave effort, a really good contest. Well done to the Flem Colts. They've confirmed their spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a huge effort from wildcard team. They will be disappointed. There's no doubt about that. They gave it their all. It was just a couple of bowls, a couple of big shots there from Matty Lucas and Cohen. They just a couple of conversions. They almost looked out of it halfway through sort of end number 3, and then all of a sudden, ends 4 and 5. They've come home incredibly strong.
Ring 4 is really making a sweat here at the moment. Adelaide Heat and the Western Wolves. That score is still to update, 61-44, but it is still the Wolves holding an ultimate end, which would mean, if it stays that way, the Heat would lose by 1 and would miss the finals as a result. And there we go. It looks as though the Heat have got up 66-57, courtesy of a second shot bowl, which means they will go in.
Falcons will
drop out. There you go.
And for the Western Wolves, that was second spot was on offer there.
It was.
So they had a top 2 and a guaranteed place in the quarterfinals, and they've just missed out on that.
Hence there was a lot of delay, if that's the term we're going to use, on that last bowl. The importance placed on it for both sides. So, yeah, incredible. As we said, that's what is so good about the way these group games play out. Just when you think you've got it all sorted.
And there's no mucking around here. Kawana, Thunder and Dandenong straight on the green.
Yep.
And they've just started straight away. So how good. This is what we like to see.
Let's let you pad here for a second, Greedy, and run through the schedule. I've got to go and announce lunch to the players.
Well, that is an important
That is very important, so I'll do that, and you can fill in our listeners on what is happening as we now head to Section B and the final group games.
Yes, Section B. So, firstly, Dandenong Club. We have Brendan Wilson leading up for Jack McShane, using the orange bowls in the blue bowls. Kawana Thunders, Kane Nelson leading for Jeremy Henry. How the standings look for Section B. So, Kawana currently 3rd. Dandenong Club, they're in 9th, and a win here still won't see them make the top 6. But they can grab some momentum heading into events 2 and 3. The team in 8th, Deer Park Club Gold, and the team in 7th, the Lawn Bowls to you, Windsor Centurions. They are still a chance of making the top 6. So there is 8 teams fighting for those positions. 1st, 2nd and 3rd, all on 21. Moama Black, Broadbeach Bulls and Kawana Thunder. Then 2 teams on 18, Deer Park Club Blue and Bundura, and then you have your Southern Stars on 17. So, potentially, there is 5 sides who could finish in the top 2, although you look at the points differential, the for and against, and Moama Black plus 157, Broadbeach 112. So, with the Kawana Thunder plus 7.
Yeah, this has been just a super hard section to try and get a read on. Moama Black, I mean, they started pretty slowly, but they've just roared to the top of the table. And we saw them out here a few moments ago with Alex Marshall and Cass Millerick just putting on an absolute exhibition, tunning up. Broadbeach Bulls have been really consistent throughout. Kawana came into today's action sitting in top spot. They've just had a little bit of a mini slip. And now, well, they're still very much in the mix for a top 2 berth and a quarterfinal spot, but Dandenong Club, with not much to play for other than a little bit of pride and momentum, will be looking to spoil the party. I've got absolutely no doubt. Can both Deer Park clubs get in to the top 6? Looks as though blue is pretty safe, but gold needs to win and rely on a couple of other results. Kawana with the first points of this contest, very early stages, with both skips now at the mat. Jeremy Henry for Kawana and Jack McShane for the Dandenong Club.
Yeah, world champions galore on the rink here. No, it's great to see Jez playing a number of games as well and taking more of a lead role, as we've mentioned in the past with the Warilla Gorillas. He just played pretty much the minimum amount of games you could play, and it wasn't because his stats were terrible. His stats were actually right up there with the best averages going around, but they had Teasy and Corey just teaming up, so Jeremy was there for, providing that support, the experience that, well, it's a mentoring role almost.
Look at a couple of the comments off Facebook. Greeny, Kaz McGregor touching on Jacob Brighton and his performance for the UBC wildcard team. It just fell short, unfortunately, of making it through to the finals. But Kaz telling us, Jacob, one of the nicest young bowlers. I think he's very underrated in the under-18s because his consistency in the Premier Division is incredible. Thank you, Kaz, for your comment. Much appreciated. Mick Leighton watching from Long Bay Jail Bowling Club. Thank you, Mick. Cambria, California, USA, Jackie Hogan. Nice to hear from you, Jackie. Thank you. Creswick's Richard Burt has stopped by to say hello.
So, Mick, where was that from? Long Bay Bowls Club. He must have been let out of the institution because...
Long Bay Jail Bowls Club?
Yeah, he's been in an institution for a number of years, so obviously they've just moved him from one area to another, so it's very good to hear from Mick.
Active for the prisoners.
I love that they've allowed him access to a TV or a monitor at least. I hope it had a big plastic screen around it.
And the internet.
Yeah.
Heidi Butcher is watching from Melbourne, so good on you, Heidi. So, yeah, get involved on the Facebook page or the YouTube streaming there and share your thoughts. Obviously, we're going to get stuck into some really exciting finals action a little later this afternoon, and we trust that everyone's going to thoroughly enjoy that. Kawana with a very slender early lead in this one after a completed end. That just slides to the high side for what looked like we were on for a toucher there from Kane Nelson. You're right, Greeny, that weather to the left of us certainly starting to look a little bit dicey. Wind picking up and the cloud coverage touch on the grey side. Expecting 35, 36 degrees back into the week too, so that's going to be another test for the players at the end of what is a long 6 days here in Moama.
Yeah, right now we're looking forward to that weather, and I reckon when that weather comes, we'll be looking forward, looking back on this.
A cool change needed, yeah, exactly. So again, great start, Kane Nelson, to this second end for the team representing Kawana. They are nicknamed the Thunder, and haven't heard any yet, but the way the backdrop here at Moama is looking, we might be a chance for some in the next half hour or so. That's a good response from Brendan Wilson for the Dandenong Club.
He's the interim CEO for Bowls Queensland.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Wiz, Brett Wilkie, he had the role, and he's moving to Club Helensvale. And Brendan, he only just recently started at Bowls Queensland, the marketing role.
It's a fair ascension, yeah, exactly. Lead shot going the way of Kawana Thunder, just to extend their lead out to 4. So following this game, We will, of course, have a very short break. From the streaming point of view, we'll be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon for the quarterfinals. But prior to that, we do encourage you to get along to ultimatebowls.com.au/scoreboard so you can keep an eye on what happens in the preliminary finals. All 4 of those will be played at the same time. So the live scores will be in overdrive and you can find out which of the teams will progress through to the quarterfinals. The top 2 teams from each section will just sit back, relax, and watch that all unfold. Work out who their upcoming opponents will be. But yeah, back here from 4 for the live streaming on both our Facebook and YouTube, so you won't miss a second of the action from the quarterfinal stage on. As we said, that's when the money goes up for grabs, and that's when we'll see the absolute cream of the crop rise here at Moama.
Big weight again from McShane. Can he get the connection? It's almost the identical bowl, and just missing. He gets half of that blue. He gets the other one out as well. Benny, we'll have a quick look at some of the scores, and a really intriguing match is the Windsor Centurions against the Deer Park Club Gold. So, respectively 7th and 8th. But it's a Deer Park Club Gold at the moment who hold a 4-point lead. And if you have a look a little bit further down, Deer Park Club Blue, who are currently in 4th position, are playing the 5th position holders, currently Bundoora, and Bundoora leading 27-3.
Off to a flyer there, absolutely. Southern Stars, who have sort of marvelled at the way they've kept themselves in the mix. They're off to a good opening couple of ends there against Broadbeach, who are, as we know, top of the table at the moment. 22 playing 11 there. Moama Green, who have touched on, probably a touch disappointing their event 1 as opposed to Moama Black, who are flying, but they are starting well also against Golden State. 27-9 the score there halfway through end number 2. So Jeremy Henry looking to maybe work into a second. It won't do so on this occasion. So 1st and 3rd Kawana, 2nd with Dandenong, 27-15 the score after 2 completed ends here on our TV rink. It's probably the other thing we should put out to our listeners, our viewers, is any requests for players you'd like to hear on the comms, maybe through our finals later tonight. Obviously, it'll have to be players that probably less likely that are going to be involved. But if there's a player you'd like to hear from, one that you'd like us to pose a few curly questions to through the coverage, let us know on our comment section there, Facebook or on the YouTube. And if you've got some questions for those players, pop them in there as well.
Yeah, spot on. We'll have a really good look at the teams who have qualified. And, yeah, we'll get a mix of players in tonight, Benny.
That's the plan.
Great shot there from Wilson, just following up Kane Nelson's great start.
It's probably unlucky there, Brendan, that it just didn't drop back onto the jack to pick up an extra 3 points.
It's close again here.
Yeah, very close.
Holds on for the jack.
Not quite. But a great roll. So Kawana, just as we said, still very much with top 2 aspirations. Win this and some other results go their way and they could find themselves into a quarter-final. This looks brilliant. There's 3.
Yeah, not much of a change here from Nelson. You know, that weight he's been playing is perfect. He was probably just half a bowl higher than from his last, and he's played it perfect. Jeremy seems to like it.
Can see why.
Look at this for a shot, Benny. That is brilliant.
Yep.
Probably a little bit stiff not to get it all the way through, but still 3 points nonetheless with the toucher.
Yeah, he gets the 3. It's a chance now for Dandenong to cancel that out with the lead shot, but yeah, you couldn't have played that much better, Kane Nelson and Jeremy Henry. I think it was pretty appreciative of the effort. It's been a good grouping of bowls here, Greeny, to start this 3rd end. All 6 of them in and around the mark. It's probably the sixth and the last one, the worst of the lot. That said, it's in a good spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
For later on in
very happy with that.
On in the end. So lead shot goes the way of Dandenong. 30 plays 21. Kawana, as we've mentioned a few times, just vying for a quarterfinal, a direct passage through to the quarterfinal. One less game you have to win on the way through to hopefully $32,000. Just part of a $280,500 prize pool over the course of the 6 days here at the Moama Bowling Club. I must say, it's just a beautiful part of the world here, Greenie. If you're coming along to have a look at the bowls, make sure you try and stay for a couple of days. Chukamoama, the Murray River, Pioneer Settlement, all areas that I ran through this morning, and it was quite nice this morning while it was quiet, but there'll be a hive of activity through the week. Get on the paddle steamer.
Yeah, plenty to do and plenty to see, especially here at Moama Bowling Club as well. There's, I think every time I come, there's a new restaurant that's been opened up.
Yeah, well, the popularity of the place is just insane. You walk into the sports club in our breaks, and it is chock-a-block. People here with family and friends, and this time of year, Christmas parties, work Christmas parties are all happening. So, well, who owns the tee there, do you reckon, Greenie? That's pretty close. I don't think the Jack's likely to be displaced too far that it'll come into play, but...
Yeah, I think the plan here is just to try and get third shot, try and beat that wing blue. Can get back to the Jack.
It's going to try really hard here, isn't it? It's a great effort. It's brilliant.
Falls over. It would get to the Jack, but it's first and second. So probably see a little bit more weight here from Henry. Probably a little bit more direct. He can get his own through the Jack. He misses that and gets onto the shot bowl off that, onto the Jack. Lots of different options. So a little bit more weight here. And we see backhand runner Henry. He's still watching it. What's the result? He removes one of the orange bowls, so he removes the second shot. It'll now go probably first and third the way of Dandenong. However, Jack McShane, he has the final bowl this end. All he's got to do is replicate his last.
Yeah, there's not going to be much in this as we head to the fourth end. As we said, Dandenong not really with much to play for in this event, but they're not handing this to Kawana on a platter. Going to make them work all the way through, and look at that, 35-34 the score with 2 ends to play, and it's 2 ends left in our group matches across Section A and Section B before we take a breath and pause before our preliminary finals at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, and some of the matches which will, well, it'll have a big impact on the standings for this Section B. Deer Park Club Gold 46, lead Windsor 23. So Windsor, who was second at the start of the day in their debut event, they look like they're going to slip down to 8th.
Yeah,
so that's a remarkable change. But there's still 2 ends to go in that match, and they won't be giving up. Port Sorell 41, hold a slender 1-point lead over Moama Black.
Just on that with Deer Park Club Gold, that would propel them inside the top 6, yes?
Yes, however, Southern Stars 43 lead Broadbeach 20. So they're the team who they can catch because they're on 15 and they've got a minus 74. So,
well, I'll tell you who else is keen on that result is Kawana, because Broadbeach, they dropped that.
Yes.
Kawana win here, which is not a given, by the way, but they win that. They're in the top 2.
Well, put it this way, if Broadbeach and Moama Black lose and Kawana win, they actually get top spot.
Top spot, yeah, amazing.
It's incredible how much stuff can change over just 2 ends of bowls, because that's where we got left. We've got 2 ends of bowls. And still all of these scenarios.
So Brendan Wilson. As we get to crunch time here.
Yeah, it's been a steady match. All 4 players having an impact in some way or another.
Yeah, it's just that shot for shot. No one has been able to break clear. And now, with 3 to Dandenong, they will take the lead with the 3 points accrued from the lead shot at the changeover. It's now up to the Skips. And a real tight battle over there on rink 3. Port Sorell, who can't qualify for the top 6, but they're making life tough for Moama Black, the top team. And Broadbeach, well, again, the Southern Stars, they could be the Kiwi outfit, a real surprise packet, one team to watch, because they're going to have all the momentum with them heading into the finals. Should they hold on, as we see there, I think that's just registered a toucher on the way through, and it has. So 3 more to the Dandenong club. Jack McShane with a great opening bowl here in this 4th end. Just tighten up a little bit in the Broadbeach Southern Stars contest. 35-46 now the Stars lead with 2 ends to play. Moama Black and Port Sorell, that's tight as well. A lot of really close matches here. Bundoora 47, Deer Park Club Blue 40.
It's just that they're changing bowl by bowl, literally. Their positions will come down to the final bowls that are played.
There's really only one match unfolding at the moment, that Moama Green Golden State, that has no permutations for the top 6 or the top 2. So live matches in the other 5 that all will have a bearing on how things fall in the wash-up. And once this game is completed, we will just run you through the top 6 in both sections. And then we encourage you to get along to ultimatebowls.com.au/scoreboard to find out who will face who, as Jeremy Henry there.
Henry, stiff result there.
Unlucky, gets the toucher, but concedes the, at this point, I think almost an ultimate end, at least first and second shot. So effectively, once we reach the preliminary finals, the 3rd place team in Section A will face the 6th place team in Section B. There's the crossover, so I won't run through it all because I'll just end up confusing people. But you can head along to ultimatebowls.com.au/scoreboard, and those matchups for the preliminary finals will be posted as soon as all final scores are completed and confirmed. But yes, effectively 3rd will play 6th, 4th will play 5th.
Yeah, Jeremy's having a really good look at this. Taking all the time in the world.
Yeah, well, this is massive, because down an ultimate end, this game could really ride on this bowl here from Jeremy Henry, and Kwana's chances of a top 2 spot could depend on the outcome of this bowl. There's a reason why he's one of the all-time greats, though.
Needs it to get down. Well, can he get the second chance result off that? He's done that, so he's got second out of it.
Yep.
That was the idea. With good weight, he had a couple of options there, and that's what the one just held out of touch, so he didn't get back to the blue bowl or the shot bowl, but he got that little run in. With the good weight, he hung around.
Definitely think there's a measure on here for 3rd. And when the game is this tight and when there is this much riding on it, yeah, I wouldn't think they're going to take any half measures, pardon the pun. I'll make absolutely certain of it. It's just finding a finding a measuring device at the moment, which is the main issue. Deer Park Club Gold have skipped clear of Windsor. As you said, a disappointing finish to their event 1 by the looks of it. They're going to fall short after what was a really strong start to the opening day. Moama Black, 61 lead, Port Sorell 44. So Moama Black look like they've assured themselves the top 2 spot. Broadbeach Southern Stars, still Southern Stars holding an ultimate end, and they lead by 14. 49 playing 35 there. Moama Green 75, big leaders over Golden State. But again, that's the only match that really doesn't have any bearing on the top 6. And Deer Park Club Blue 61, leading Bundoora 50 with roughly half the end to play there in that contest.
Yeah, Benny, touching back on the lawn bowls to you, Windsor Centurions, I hope they don't get too down on themselves about today's performance, because as we know, it's only 3 matches. You look back at yesterday, their first day ever in the UBC, and they went up against some of the best, and they were second in the section. So hopefully they can focus on that and take that into events 2 and 3, as opposed to getting down on themselves after today, where they had a real great chance to play finals and they've just slipped out, because that's the nature of the beast with this final day. The 3 matches to be played, and they're alternating, and there is just so many changes that we see in the UBC.
Now, the officials' kit bag is one of wonder. I mean, I've peered into a couple, and the amount of devices, tools, paraphernalia that they carry around, like what are we seeing here at the moment? I know we've sort of slightly blocked from our vision on the live stream, but
This will be the laser, mate.
it looks like the laser's out. Now, I was going to suggest that it's not just the old string measure. This is high stake stuff, as we touched on. It's really important. All points really valuable here, particularly for Kawana. So we hear a lot of cheering and hooting and hollering going on behind us on the main green. Deer Park Club Gold are running away with it against Windsor, holding an ultimate end and leading by 44 shots at the moment.
But I think it's going to be a case of too little too late.
Yeah.
With the Southern Stars, they've got one chance, and that is if Deer Park Club Blue up against Bandura.
If
they
Bandura
need
get
Deer
beaten,
Park Club Blue to have a big win, and they have a big win themselves, and that for and against. But at this stage, it's not enough, purely based on the fact that the Southern Stars 67 lead Broadbeach 35 with 1 in to go.
Suggest they've done enough. So, look, the wash up from the measure there was Dandenong have extended their lead 53-46, but still very much up for grabs here for Kawana. It's not the best opening start there from Brendan Wilson. So now it's Kane Nelson looking for some early points here. This doesn't look too bad. Is it going to hold? You betcha. Great start.
Further points.
Further points to Kawana. Margins back to 4. We're going to start to see some of the games behind us conclude, and final scores and that table to just start chopping and changing left, right and centre. There is so much going on.
Well,
Deer Park
have gone to 6 with the Deer Park Gold side, so a margin of minus 18. So they need Deer Park Blue to beat Bandura by 60.
And I don't think that's happening.
No.
They did everything they could, I mean, to win by 56.
Exactly.
They couldn't ask much more of the Deer Park Gold side, but yeah, unfortunately their counterparts in blue not quite able to get it done. This is a
Brendan Wilson,
great bowl.
toucher and the shot.
So it cancels out Kane Nelson's earlier toucher. Margin goes back out to 7, and a chance that may go out to 10 unless Kane can do something really, really good here. Let's have a look. I think it's a bit tight, and it's not going to get past that front bowl. So margin will now be 10 with just half an end to play. Kawana playing for a quarterfinals berth here. And they're going to need the superstar veteran that is Jeremy Henry to come up with something to get them into that top 2. Moama Black have won 80-52, so they will finish on top. Broadbeach look like they're going down pretty convincingly to the Southern Stars, so they're the team that's a little bit nervous in second spot. But they'll finish that game and possibly get over here to see how Kawana fare, and they may hold on to second even after losing.
So Jack McShane, not far away here.
It's a good start, isn't it?
He's going to cover the Jack as well. So that's pretty good there for Dandenong. They lead by 10, and they know Kawana needs to get movement on the Jack. The only way they can do it now is through one of the shorter bowls. There's no direct route. Big weight here from Henry. Looking to change something up. Peels off the front.
Deer Park Club Blue has won 74.58 over Bundoora, but as we've touched on, not going to be enough. Deer Park Club Gold, big winners over Windsor, 88-32. And the Southern Stars, that game getting towards its conclusion as well. Look like they're going to record a solid win over Broadbeach. Here's McShane. This one's going to head out to the back and just about finish on the tee, just shy of it. So 2 bowls here to play for Jeremy Henry. And as it stands, Kiwana Thunder are in 4th position. Broadbeach, we know, aren't going to win their match, but it might still see them, well, again, the points differential. Deer Park Club Blue,
Yeah.
because their points differential is going to change. So, yeah, maybe Broadbeach. I was a little early with that call. Maybe it's Deer Park Club Blue that are now coming over to watch Kiwana to see how this unfolds.
No, I think you've held on there, Benny. They've just updated that. They finished with 103, but as you said, depending on what the final result is with Broadbeach Bulls.
Down by 30 odd, so that's going to shift, isn't it? Unless Kiwana can find a way to clinch this match, that will take them up to 24. So,
well, it's going to take a piece of magic.
Just updated now. So Blue, Deer Park Club Blue are in 2nd.
And straight through.
Straight through unless Kiwana win here. And it's all down to this. Jeremy Henry for a spot in the quarterfinals.
What piece of magic can he deliver?
Needs 1st and 2nd here.
He likes it.
Needs 1st and 2nd.
It's just going on him now.
No. So there you have it.
So
Deer Park
Dandenong,
Club
hold
Blue.
on.
Yeah, Deer Park Club Blue are going to leapfrog about 3 spots to head into 2nd and a quarterfinal, if you don't mind. That is a stunning finish to this Section B.
And so there's all the completed current scores. And we'll have a quick look at the standings before we head to a short break. Well, short break for the bowls because it'll be back on at 2 o'clock and then we'll be back on at 4. But Section A, so Wirrallah Gorillas, the Raptors, the Wolves, the Colts, Heat and Exodus, they are the top 6. The Falcons and the Pelicans just missing out. And there's confirmation of Section B standings. Moama Black and Deer Park Club Blue straight through the quarterfinals. And then the prelims will feature the Broadbeach Bulls, Kiwana Thunder, Southern Stars and Bundoora. So it's great to see Southern Stars. I think that could be their first finals appearance and their 3rd event.
And they've had just an amazing day too. You know, they looked like they were making up the numbers coming into it this morning, but they've won their 3 matches. A few results have gone their way. Who knows? They're in the mix now and they're as good a chance as anyone.
Yeah, so as always, if you want to have a really good look at the standings, if you want to have a look at some of the score updates for the prelim finals, which will be in 1 hour's time, just head to ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au/scoreboard. And then once the prelims are done, we'll have our confirmed quarterfinalists, and that action will be on from 4 o'clock, so just 3 hours' time. So we can't wait to have you back then. But until then, make sure you jump on ultimatebowlschampionship.com.au and find out more about the event.